T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. Welcome to the Trap Talk Podcast presents New Breeder on the Block series with our boy Gershon, GP Snkaes. Man, I'm looking forward to tonight's episode, but this is your first time tapping in. What is good, everybody? I'm your boy MJ. Do your boy a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification every single podcast I drop here on the Trap Talk Reptile Podcast YouTube channel. Shout out to my subscribers out there. Man, even my viewers, man, if you're tapping in on these episodes, I just want to say thank you so much for spending your life with me. Thank you for learning with me. And yeah, man, this is great doing all this together with you guys. Shout out to everyone in the early birds in the comments. I see you guys. But before we get into things tonight, I do want to say that tonight's episode is brought to you by... Give me a minute. It's not coming up. Hurry up. There he is. Gershon Morphs. Please head over to Gershon Morphs Instagram. Check out my man Shelby, what he has going on. His work is next level, second to none with the projects he has going on. He's definitely created his own branch on the giant ball python tree. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, go follow him on Instagram. Go follow his morph market. Head over to his website, mershonmorphs.com .org. And yeah, go fuck with my boy Shelby, man. I'm telling you right now, it's forced to be reckoned with. People who've been in the game are pretty much already on top of what Shelby's doing. But if you're new into the game, you never heard of the homie Shelby from Gershon's Morphs, here's your fucking PSA right now, man. Please go check out my boy Shelby. And Shelby, thank you so much for your support. Really means a lot. I also want to say that this episode is brought to you by Freedom Breeder, #1 stainless steel RHACS made out of the United States since the 90s. Fuck, man. Sick ass sponsor. I love Freedom Breeder. Thank you so much, Jesse and the entire Freedom Breeder crew. Looking forward to getting my new RHACS from Freedom Breeder here soon. And it's going to be great. My new room is doing good. Man, my life has been something else, guys. I got to tell you, you know how they always say moving animals is stressful? Well, guess what? They ain't joking. Why does my camera look weird? They ain't joking when they say that. I could tell you that. And yeah, it's just been one hell of a ride. You always think, all right, if it goes smoothly this way, then there should be no issues. No, hell no. There was issues. All animals are alive. Nothing died, which is good. But for the most part, there were some setbacks as far as getting this room ready. But I could officially say that everything is in this room, 110%. So I'm excited to keep you guys updated. Give me some time. Once I feel like everything's dialed in to the point where I could do a vlog, I'll put out a vlog on my brand new Trap 2.0 room that I have, and I'm in it right now. Like, this is fucking so sick. Dream come true. So thank you to everyone who's been riding with me, everyone who's been following me on this journey. I gotta say, when it comes to like living out a dream, it's unbelievable. And I really feel like with having the podcast being basically my job, and then on top of snake money and just everything. How I make my money is literally a dream come true. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, it is still work, but I don't look at it as work, and I just feel like it's really capable. It's up to how much I want to put in. So, yes, to the top we all shall go. Not all of us, but you know what I mean. I love you guys. I want to say also, if you're looking for exclusive content, right? If you want to be a part of a sick ass family, something that's growing by the day, if you want one-on-one coaching on how to start a podcast, if you need help with how to trap, period. If you're looking for some support, go down to the link below. Join the Trap Talk Patreon family, okay? My family's been growing for over 3 years now, and we're all loyal. We're all about this. Longevity's in the game plan for all of us. So once you join the Patreon family, I'll give you a link to the Discord, and that will tap you in with over 150 trappers in the building who I love so much, man. I thank you guys so much. Everyone who's active in the Discords, everyone who is either selling, buying, or giving advice. Excuse me. It's all going down, man. And I got to say thank you to everyone who participates in the family and keeps everything going. And yeah, man, I love you guys. Thank you so much. But join the Trap Talk Patreon family. We tight. We go to shows, and we're all about it, man. I want to say for sure the coolest reptile family in the world on Patreon, and that's the Trap Talk family. I love you guys. And yeah, also go follow me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, Trap Talk God 619, and also go follow the podcast's Instagram page as well, the Trap Talk Podcast. And if you're on Facebook, drop your boy a like. Let's see some love on Facebook. Go follow and like my Facebook page, the Trap Talk Podcast on Facebook. And if you're looking to send any donations, or anything like that, send that over to Exotics Cartel with an A9E on PayPal. Much love and respect. And then I just want to say, go subscribe to my other YouTube channel, the Trap Talk Vlogs. Okay, well, actually, excuse me, the Trap Vlogs, which that's going to be a lot of what's happening with my own collection and whatnot. I got to tell you guys, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but there's some things that are looking pretty good for the very first time for me over here, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. So best way to stay on top of what's happening with my animals is to go subscribe to my YouTube channel, the Trap Vlogs on YouTube. And yeah, be ready. It's going to be popping. Who's here? Who's ready to rock? The early birds is cracking. By the way, guys, let's get GP started off properly with the likes. Let's get the likes up right now. Let's get them cracking, because I will remind you guys. So if you guys want to get ahead of the game and be one of those players, then get the likes up for my homie GP right now, please. I appreciate it. Chantel in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member. Team Zoo Dreams, my girl right here. Go follow her. Pacific Rim Serpents. And go see the episode she just had with the homie Nicole. The homie Luke Lizard Morphs from Australia. I love it when Australia's tapping in. Thank you for being here, Luke. Go give my man a follow. Definitely one of the best out of Australia doing it today. Clover's Reptiles, Alvaro. Man, I need to go back to school. I really do. I'm not going to, but I'm just saying, thinking out loud. Thanks for tapping in, buddy. I appreciate you. You must be Irish. Go Irish. The homie Angel Reptile Club, my dog right here. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. He's a real one. I need to throw you on the management team, bro. You're just Angel. Angel's this carries a knife, which is good. Just kidding. He's from LA though, and he's pretty dangerous. That's my boy Angel. I love him. Brian, what is good? Heath and Hatchery, Trap Talk Patreon member, Trap Talk management team all day, every day is my boy. Go give him a follow. Seriously, one of the coolest up and comers in the game. Wiz Constrictors, somebody I came up in the game with, and I've been following him since. My boy Wiz right here, part of the Usual Suspect crew. Thanks for tapping in, buddy. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. You know it. Heartland Reptiles in the building. What's up, player? Trap Talk Patreon member, the homie Jordan. The homie Levi, FTL Reptiles. Trap Talk Patreon member in the building. What's up, player? The homie Ricky Bobby, SRT, a.k.a. Shane from Above All Scales. Please go give this guy a follow on Instagram right now. It's my bro right here. And, dog, we are overdue for a phone call conversation. We need to talk, dog. We need to catch up, Shane. I'll text you after this episode. But it's my dog, Shane. He's my brother. Seriously, man, this guy's going to be killing it in the game here soon. The homie right here, Brandon Wheeler, what a guy. You want to know why you should come to Reptile Super Shows? Because you can hang out with a guy named Brandon Wheeler, and his name is Morelia House on YouTube. His name's Morelia House on Instagram. He's so diverse with reptiles, but also passionate about keeping people friends. This guy squashed like maybe 3 or 4 beefs with me or for me already. Him and I have never had beef. Well, maybe once. But hey, hold on. Let's not go there. I'm just kidding. I love you, Brandon. Brandon Wheeler, the man who keeps carpets, scrubs, a bunch of other sick shit relevant. It's my dog right here. Thank you so much, Brandon, for your support. Joshua Stover in the building. Facebook homie all day, every day. Thank you for the love and support, Josh. Appreciate all the positive comments and messages you send me. If I don't always reply back, don't trip. I do read it, and it means a lot. So thank you so much, Josh. The homegirl Lily in the building. My Lily number 2, even though she is a number 1, she's number 2 because my number 1 is my wife. But this is like my second favorite Lily to say out of my mouth. I love this girl. It's my little sister right here. Wait, big sister. My bad. Or you could go a little sister. Wait, are you older than me or am I younger? I forget because I'm old now too. I can't even keep up. Anyways, the homegirl Lily, we grew up in the 80s/90s. We're both old. But anyways, she's cool. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Thanks for being here. The homie Constrictor Connection. Dog, I'm feeling this new logo. I'm not going to lie. This looks like Adler's work. Could it be Adler's work? I think it is. Shout out to the homie Constrictor Connection, Trap Talk Patreon member who connected with another Patreon member, aka my right hand man, add Dizzle for Shizzle, A&E Foundry, wherever he's at. But please go give him a follow, Constrictor connection, and go give him props on his new logo. That's elevating. I love it. JKJ Reptiles in the building. Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day. Big Keys in the building. What's up, Keys? Thanks for being here. Go fuck with my man Keys, my dog right here. NW Herpetological. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for being here. Row 5.0, about to get some serious trap heat in the next week or so, right? If I'm not mistaken, a couple weeks. It's my dog right here. Trap Talk Patreon member, and soon to have some serious trap heat. I'm talking proven breeder type heat. This guy ain't playing. He's getting some sick ass shit from me. And yeah, thanks for your support. Thanks for being a Trap Talk Patreon member. And the homie Trademans Exotics, also Trap Talk Patreon member all day, every day, and has some sick ass chondros because he's gotten chondros from my boy Socrates, aka one of the best in the game. And that's a fact. 217 Pythons, what is up? Thanks for tapping in. Jaffe, my favorite Canadian in the building. What is up? Thanks for tapping in. I ain't gonna lie, I gotta end it with Jaffe because it doesn't get as player as Jaffe if it comes to hairstyles, features, and all the above out of Canada. That's my favorite player right there. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, Will. Okay, top 3. Will. Okay, top 4. Will, Khalil, Jaffe, Austin. Okay, top 5. Christian. They're all that. That's all number 1. I love Canada, guys. Canada. Speaking of Canada, be ready this Thursday because I am bringing the homie JP from JP Reptiles back on, and he's been laying low key for a while, but we're going to bring him back. We're going to talk about it, and we have a special guest from Canada. Not going to say anything else, but it's going to be amazing. Guys, I think you guys know what it is. It is game time because it's Monday. It's New Breed on the Block series, and we have another reptile keeper / podcaster coming to the damn platform, and I cannot wait to chop it up. My man, Gershon, I know you guys are ready, but guys, do what you got to do to get your mind right. Do what you got to do to stay hydrated because it's going down right now. Episode 298. We're 2 away from 300. What a road. Let's go. Gee.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it.
And we're live with GP Snkaes, aka Gershon in the building. What's good, Gershon?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
How you living, bro?
How you doing? I'm good. I'm good. I'm a little tired. I've been working crazy shifts because I plow snow. So we got like 10 inches of snow in one day. So sleepless nights, plowing snow, make sure the streets are safe, and then coming cleaning reptiles. So it's tiring. It's tiring.
What time do you start your day?
So usually I start at 7 a.m. But when we got snow, we do what is called a on-call shift or a stay-on or midnight. So we work from we get off at 3 p.m. If we got to stay on, we'll work from 3 p.m. till 11 p.m. And then the next shift will come in at 12, and they'll work from 12 to 7 a.m. And depending on where your name falls, you could get either shift. So you're doing 16 hours sometimes straight. And then you go home and pass out and wake up in another 6 hours to go back again.
So, I've said this quite a bit on the show. There's people out there who probably struggle lacing their boots on certain mornings or certain nights to go do what they do. You have those nights, I'm assuming, or mornings.
Oh, I don't even lace my boots anymore. I pre-tie them. I got them pre-tied and slip them on and get out the door. Sleep in the eye, bro, and all that stuff.
Well, I do want to say, this world is built off hard workers like yourself, you know what I mean? And this, especially this country. So do want to give you props, you know what I mean? And man, like I said, the most hard labor job I ever had was when my buddy's dad hired me for his concrete company, and I was doing concrete. And I had no experience, and these motherfuckers are just good at certain shit, right? And I'm a klutz, right? So they're like, dude, you're gonna muck the mud, bro. Like, they gave me a rake and they told me to rake, right? And even then, I'm tripping over, I'm falling, but somehow I like kept that job for like a good 2 years out of high school. And it was good, money for an 18-year-old, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I told myself, I was like, I can't do this. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm not, I'm so sorry. But like, I was looking at my hands, I was like, this is not me. I'm so sorry, but there's gotta be a smarter way about this. And when I left Washington, I told myself, I'm never doing hard labor ever again. And that's when I got into sales. And everything else changed in my life. So
yeah, that's hard work on your body. I tried to tell my little brother, he wanted to work for a landscaper and stuff. And I was like, that's hard work, and you working for somebody else. Like, you putting that hard work for somebody else. During the pandemic, he had it where he was getting money for staying at home, not being able to go to work, and he was playing games. And I was like, get on Twitch, start Twitch. Right. You never know where that could take you. Try to outsource something that you like doing and see if you can make some money off of it and build a new career. But he's young and he think he knew everything.
So, and what's crazy is like, the ones I noticed who were doing construction. Okay, first and foremost, like I said, it was my buddy's dad's company, right? And my buddy's dad was balling. Like every summer, like we're talking jet skis, like we were at this guy's house and it was the best time ever. So it just felt cool to work under him, like, because he was like the guy in high school, like everyone loved. So, but then I was like, dude, this ain't my, like, this fool's balling. Like, I'm not gonna, like, so I, and obviously I looked at my friend, I was like, it's his dad. So yeah, even though him and I are kind of like neck and neck and doing stuff together, he's fucking good for life. Like, he's
exactly.
So I'm like, this ain't gonna be me, because I'm not in, unless I wanted to, unless I had a true passion of laying concrete. But no, I don't. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, it was cool to see it, but no, bro, I'm good. There's too many ways to fuck that up, and like, I'm good. I will, you know what I mean? And so anyways, props to you, man. But I gotta ask you, how long have you had a job like this where it was fucking, hard work?
Oh, I'm going on year 19. Yeah. I've been here 19 years.
19 years. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. So 19 years. How did you find time to want to do snakes, or have snakes always been a part of what's happening? But let's kind of talk about how you were like able to fit snakes in with a job like what you have. And okay. that takes a lot out of you.
It does. Right, really got used to sleeping off of 5 hours of sleep and going 24 hours. You get kind of ingrained in doing that. But I didn't get snakes until year 6 at this job. The first thing I got, my actual girlfriend, who's my wife now, got me my first snake. She wanted water dragons, Chinese water dragons. So we got her Chinese water dragons, and for her to get Chinese water dragons, I was like, well, I want a snake. So she bought me a snake. I bought her the Chinese water dragons. The Chinese water dragons stayed for about 6-7 months, and then she didn't want them anymore. So then they became my Chinese water dragons. So that's what started my fascination with snakes. I always wanted a snake, but of course my mom said, it's got to have legs for it to be in this house. Nothing without legs in this house. So that old tale of time where mom shut it down. So when I finally got on my own, got my first snake, start researching, learning about them. My second snake was actually a green sheen python, a Biak. So I went from a normal pet snake to one of the more harder to keep animals, very new to reptiles. Well, very new to snakes itself. So that was a learning curve between the ball python and the green tree, knowing how to care for both of them properly. I'm not gonna lie, there were mistakes made. But both of them stayed alive. I had my green tree python got worms, and I had to figure out how to give it injections through its mouth,
right?
Syringe injections. Which I was like, I don't know how to hold this thing, let alone hold it to where I can put a syringe in his mouth and shoot medicine down his throat. Right. That was terrifying. But we got through it. We got through it.
And okay, now, what part of the country are you from?
I'm originally from LA, but now I'm in Wisconsin. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, how long were you in LA for?
So I was in LA until about 12, 13. And then we moved to Arizona for about a year, almost 2 years. And then we moved to Wisconsin. So I went from 70-degree weather, real nice weather, to hot as balls, to cold as hell. So that was my directory right there.
Bro, that's an adjustment not a lot of people can make, bro. Like,
definitely.
Oh man, bro. Like, I as a kid, I thought maybe it was cool because I moved to PA, Pennsylvania, when I was 7 or 6 years old, and I love my family back east. You know what I mean? So I thought it was cool, but also we lived there for 9 months, and I think we avoided like the actual, or no, we were there. No, we moved there in December, January. So yeah, I remember there being snow, right? But I go to snow now as an adult. I fucking hate it. I cringe up, bro. I cringe up, and I feel like I'm breaking. Like I feel like I'm breaking. I can't. I much rather be hot as shit than be cold as shit. I don't know what it is.
I can understand that. A lot of people hate me because when it's snow, I'm excited because that's money falling out the sky to me. So I'm super excited. Everybody hated me for the longest time because every time it snowed, I would post on my Facebook, I'm about to go get this money right quick. Right. So they really hated me for the longest.
Dude, okay, so and I'm sorry. Did you say how old you were when you moved? I think
I was 12 when I moved from LA to Arizona, and about 15 when I moved to Wisconsin.
Okay, so you spent majority of your adulthood in Wisconsin then?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So because I lived in Washington, and I don't know. Here we go. Like in high school, I liked the rain. I loved the rain, and the gloomy days didn't really bother me. But I've been growing up in San Diego, and since I've been growing up in San Diego, I don't have anything but sunny days for the most part. You know what I mean? And I just don't have to worry about what I put on. Like if anything, I'm going to put on something that's too warm versus being too cold, right? True. Like even right now it's raining. I still put my flip-flops on, which is stupid. It's unsafe, for when you're old and you got bad knees like me. But like, I just don't give a fuck because where I live, you live in Wisconsin, you live somewhere, like it's a whole process to get ready to go to your car. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
bundling up that whole, my mom used to say this, but time to bundle up. And I'm like, okay, it's definitely an East Coast thing, like bundling up, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But like, seriously, like it's just, man. Okay. So I like so much respect for you because here you are fucking doing backbreaking work, right? Putting in the hours, sleeping 6 hours, going to work, still handling snake stuff. But then also you are in the conditions you're doing it in. It's kind of like, holy shit, man, you're really built hard for this shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, at this point, okay, first off, let me slow down. How are you managing the cold and the snakes? Did it take you a while to find something that worked for you? Because some people get to that point and then they can't figure it out, or they can't get their room hot enough, or whatever the case is. I mean, electricity goes out. So many bad things happen to people when the first couple of years they're in it, and it's unfortunate. But anything that you could talk about relating to that?
So, it took me a while to get used to, especially in the new house I'm in now. I've been in this house for like 4, almost 5 years.
Right.
It's a big basement, but it's cement walls. Nothing's insulated down here. And technically we weren't like going to insulate stuff because we were like, this is not going to be our forever home. This is first home, get used to having a home, and then we're going to get a bigger house eventually. That's still the plan, but we might be sitting here for a little while because the market kind of went up real high. So we got to sit still for a bit. So I end up cutting the basement in half and making it my snake room. So I wasn't trying to heat the whole basement. That was step one. As you can see doors back here. I put the doors against the cement wall to kind of help insulate a little bit. But it's honestly trial and error to see what works. I got an oil heater in the room. It's on a thermostat that runs 24/7. I do need to invest in a generator, either a gas powered one or one of those, I forget the name of them, those big ones that you could put outside your home. I might need to invest in one of those real soon because we've had a couple power outages. I've had a couple of them where I had to try to keep people warm, keep snakes warm.
Are you talking about generator?
Yeah. I need to get. I might.
Bro, check this out. You know what's crazy is like, Mark Bailey, he was just on the show, right? And he has a backup generator for his generator, right?
Oh.
And his shit goes out like every 5-6 years. Something goes out on that thing, and it's like $3-4 grand for them to come out and fucking fix it. So that thing, like, dude, he's always forking out money for that fucking thing.
Yeah, I don't want something that's
look how much money. Like, here's the thing though, like this is what's tough is like he has been putting in so much work and into the breeding side of things where he has the money for this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, dude, like, I don't care how long you've been doing something for so long, unless you're doing it a certain way, you're not really balling. You know what I mean? You're just kind of getting by. Mark Bailey is fucking balling. Like, he's done things to where, like I said, man, like he knows he can put the most money to protect his collection. He's going to do it. So if you could do it, do it. I couldn't do it. No way. I mean, that's a lot of money. Like for me, like, fuck, that's why I'm in San Diego and I ain't got nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm trying to see. I know Tesla got some like power stuff. They got some stuff that you can use. They haven't rolled it out to everybody, but they're testing it here and there. So I'm looking into that. I mean, I'm trying to get the animals to be able to pay for it. That's the goal, to make everything in here self-sufficient where they're paying for everything they need and not coming out of my pocket per se. That's the goal anyway. We're still a long ways away from that, but we're getting closer every day. That's the point.
So let's kind of talk about the progress that you've been noticing, and what part throughout the, let's see, hold on. I'm trying to remember, because you said only 6 years into your job is when you bought Snake, is when you started getting into it, right? So that's 13 years ago? So you started getting into snakes about 13 years ago?
Actually, 12 years ago now, because I just did a post where I seen my first snake that I had bought and was swimming, and I made a post about it. So 12 years. Jesus, it's been 12 years. Wow.
And you bought that snake saying to yourself, I'm going to breed, or you just bought it because you loved it?
No, it was just a pet. Just a pet. It was a male normal. That's how much of a pet it was. It was a male normal.
But think about like I grew up in my life, but my very first snake was a normal ball python, and to me there was nothing normal about that snake. I thought, then it came with I'll never forget about the book that my snake came with. My dad bought me a tank. He bought me a heat rock. God damn. Then I learned the hard way. It wasn't my fault though. Then I learned, like, oh my God, it's burning my snake. So we got rid of that fucking thing, and we went with a lamp. But anyways, I just remember how geeked out I was over this fucking snake, and it was the coolest thing ever. I'll never forget being like waking myself up out of my sleep just to look at it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what it is to anyone who's not into snakes, bro. Like, I mean, for the most part, it might be like, if you got somebody who's not really into reptiles, they might look at it, oh, that's a cool snake. But
yeah,
like if you're a young kid and you've never seen a snake before, you see a normal ball python, you're gonna love it. It's very fascinating for the first time because it's not gonna hurt you and it's a cool snake, right? But now look where things have gone. Like now, if you don't like snakes, I don't give a fuck. I could pull something out of my rack that will make you love it. I could promise you that. You know what I mean? That's what I love about where we're at. Like, especially like, I don't care how snobby the person is about hating snakes. Put them in a collection like Miguel Garcia or Levances from Straight Fire or Mark Bailey's or something who like could just pull something out, tell you not only the price, but just what this thing can make and all sorts of other shit. It just kind of opens up the doors.
Yeah.
But, when did things take off for you on the breeding side of things? Like, when did you start looking at the morphs? How did you come across morphs? More importantly, I want to know.
Oh, so we had a actual reptile store in my area. So I would go there after I bought my snake from Petco or somewhere. I forget where we got it. we end up going to that reptile store to get food for it. And I talked to the owner, and we became real good friends. The pet store's called Reptile Rapture. So we became friends. I began talking to him. That's where I got my green tree python from. Just learning about animals, learning about the reptiles. And I think it took me another 3 years before I actually started to decide to breed ball pythons. I had the ball python, had the green tree python, got a red tail boa, and then got an emerald tree boa. So I had those 4 for like 2, almost 3 years. And I started looking into more ball pythons and it was like learning how to breed them. I wanted to breed green trees and emeralds, but I was like, I need to wait till I get one species down and then I can slowly move to another. That was the goal. Still working on getting that one species down and moving to the other, but take time. So it took me about 3, almost 4 years after I got my first ball python to actually start breeding. And honestly, the first year breeding, it was terrible for me. I had one female, she locked with the male and everything. And then one day she pushed out follicles with blood on them. So they weren't fertilized. I didn't know what it was. I freaked out. I hit Richard up at Reptile Rapture, asked him what it was. He was like, those are just follicles that didn't get fertilized. She realized they weren't going, so she just pushed them out. And I was like, oh my goodness. And most people will be like, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I need to stop. This is what I took that as a sign that I do need to keep going. I already had the baddest part of it that could happen to you. Now I can go to the next thing and get the good stuff now. So the next year I actually had successful clutches, had 2 successful clutches, got babies, went through that whole process of getting eggs for the first time. Giddy as a schoolgirl on Christmas morning, picking up eggs, then that long wait of incubation. Oh my God. Just sitting, looking at the eggs every day like, hey, you guys are okay. That is, that 55 days to 60 days. It's crazy. But they hatched out. It was an inchy to a normal. I got like 3 inchies, 4 normals. I kept 2 of the female inchies, and just grew them up. And then I realized, I'm gonna have to start getting recessives in here. So I like most people bought a lot of males first. That's we always do that. Then realized, I have 2 females. I need to get more females. So I revamped the collection a bit, got more females in, and then let's say that was about year 4 of breeding. I had like maybe a total of 10 good clutches that all came out. And then I was almost sold everything. I pretty much was about to get out of snakes, sold everything but like 7 animals that were just going to be pets. And I was just going to have pets and wasn't going to breed anymore. And then one of my albino girls dropped a clutch unexpectedly. And the wife told me, like, look, you like doing this. Go ahead and do it. Just you got to manage your time with it. And that's all I asked, because we started to have kids. And she's like, manage your time. You got a family, so make sure you have time for your family. So now I'm full swing trying to make this into a business, managing my time, being a father, husband. Sometimes I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I fall down on that, but, I'm not going to give up on it. But that's part of life. It's part of being a person. You make mistakes, you grow from them, learn from them, and keep going. So that's what I'm doing right now and trying to live that dream out.
I got like these points. I have like a sheet of points in my head I'm collecting on how much I love you each more you talk. And I got to say, one of the things that came out your mouth that just really hit home to me was that you had that bad experience with that clutch of eggs that had blood on it and whatnot. And you told yourself, this only means it's going to get better. Like, this only means, well, I got this out of the way, because you adjust, right? And like, this is why I'm so obsessed about the other species of snakes I work with, because this is the shit that I'm still trying to figure out. And it's still stuff that I don't have yet. And I want to say I've had it really good with the ball pythons. Okay. Like it's been very straightforward. I haven't dealt with much deformities or just slugs. I haven't done a lot. I mean, I haven't had a fully slugged out clutch. Like, I've had slugs, but like, it's just I feel like it's too good to be true. with the ball pythons, other than the odds. Like the odds is different, right? But I'm just saying, like, it's like, God damn, I'm having a good time just seeing the ball pythons go the full distance, right? But one thing that I had to tell myself, you know, like as you, and this is, man, this is what makes ball pythons ball pythons. I told you, Gershon, or not told you specifically, but I've told people on this show, Gershon, that I like having two sides. Well, now it's not, I used to have two separate rooms. Now I have two sides of the room, right? I love this side of the room that divides, you know, I love this side because I don't think about money on this side. I ain't selling shit. I'm trying to learn how to breed shit, but ain't no money. There ain't no money going on in my mind on this side. I go on the other side of this room and I'm thinking about the money because I'm trying. Ball pythons is my bread and butter, right? Yep. But to make money in the ball python game, and I'm talking about, you had a year where you sold a $5,000, $4,000, $3,000 snake. Well, that means you better even be ahead next year if you want to make that fucking same money, because more than likely that snake, even if you make it again, it's not going to go for that amount, right?
Exactly.
Either way, right? So they just got me thinking in my head, like last year I could have bred probably, I don't know, 35, 40 females if I wanted to. But I told myself, if I'm not going to be fucking almost shaking to cut open these eggs, if it's something that I don't give a fuck about making, I'm not going to breed it. And dude, I thought about that earlier in the year, and I'm so glad that I did, because I'm sitting on shit now that I haven't even posted for sale yet. So imagine if all that shit were to go, I'd be sitting on shit I'm not even really like excited to make. Like it's going to be either like wholesale shit, which I hate wholesaling. I don't want to wholesale. It's going to be something I have to let go for dirt cheap or whatever, but I have to feed it and I'm good. So I back to how, always remember what a normal was to you. Always remember what it is to be excited for a clutch. If you're not excited to be cutting open a clutch or seeing a clutch pip out, if you're not like that, I wouldn't, I don't know. I would just hold off on that project, or like wait till you have something better. Like you should be fucking overly stoked with everything that you're making or everything that's happening in your incubator. And you won't go wrong. Even if you're sitting on it, you'll be like, oh, this is sick. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Maybe nobody's buying it right now, but I like it. You know what I mean? So I just feel like, if I would have had an extra, like, let's just say out of the 35, like 15 of that would have went. Dude, 15 more clutches, bro, I'm straight. No way. Hell no. And it would have just been like highway stuff and like nothing wrong with that. But I'm just like, I've already made all that. And now I'm trying to make double heads and stuff that like makes you relevant. And people need to put thought into that breeding ball pythons,
Yeah, I had to really change the way I was starting to breed stuff. Like last year was the first year I got into double digits of clutches. Like I hit 13 clutches in one season.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Terrified me. I wasn't ready to hit 13 clutches, that many babies, feeding, taken care of, on top of the adults I already have. I really had to sit down and understand where I wanted to go and how many clutches I want to have in a season, being this is not my full-time job right now. I really had to be more precise on what I'm doing with it, and also with the genes I'm working with. Like I have stuff that I'm okay with sitting on. I'm okay if it's not selling, because I don't mind growing it up now. But a year ago, I wasn't in that same boat. I was just trying to make stuff that I thought was okay to make, but not really I wanted to hold on to per se. It was breeding just to breed to an extent. So I'm really trying to be more smart about what I'm breeding, the projects I'm working on, and projects that are like 5 years ahead of where I want to be. So I'm working on my doubles, I'm working on my triple recessives and my quadruple recessives now. Especially since we have testing now, I can take a het clown that's a pied or a albino and breed it to a double visual and make the triples and possibly make quadruples in there. But I just get it tested and see if it is there. So that's what I'm working with now, trying to do that, but also trying to get those Codoms in there. I mean, I know people are real focused on recessives, but you got to throw them Codoms in there too to make those recessives pop as much as you can. Like it's great to have a triple recessive, but it's even better to have a triple Codom triple recessive. Okay, that's a killer.
Okay, now let's talk the truth about that though. Okay, because you're definitely right. And I definitely feel like there's certain Codoms that aren't overly taxed right now that you could be working with that can help you with this. But let's talk about let's say if they were let's say there was an overall list made throughout the hobby of like Codoms you have to have, like fucking Codoms that make good supers, right? Like that's an important Codom to have. But even like a Codom like Stranger, right? How expensive Stranger?
Yeah.
Okay. And then acid. How expensive acid? You know what I mean? And then hold on. What's another one? I missed. Okay. Hold on. Lace is supposedly a Codom, but I'm hearing, and this is also, let's talk about this. This is going to be a great topic right here. I'm hearing that a lot of people that think something's a super form is not the super form, it's actually the recessive form, and that the form that they think is the actual Codom is just a het influence. And I was like, dude, that's a good point. And I feel like there could be a lot of those snakes like that, like a lot. You know what I mean? I'm thinking for sure Lace, one of them, because if you kind of look the elevation from Lace to White Lace, bro, like what the fuck? It's like when I was at Justin's and he showed me a lace, white lace, and then white lace clown, and I was like, whoa. I was like, okay. And then, which fucking also makes me very angry, Gershon. Not in the aggressive way. I'm just saying, like, it's frustrating because your boy last year finally got into the DG game, and it took me forever to get into the DG game. But now, guess what smacked harder than DG? White lace. Okay, I seen white lace in a clown, and it fucking, I don't want to say murders, but it's a quick little shank. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, it's like, whoo, like now it makes you think, oh great, now I need white lace after I just drop fucking RHACS on a DG. You know what I mean? And it's like, so this is why it's fun, but it's not fun because it's like I'm not made of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just got to be I don't know though, man, but it's just.
I mean, I'm kicking myself because I could have got DG. I could have got an inchy DG female in 2019 for like $500. I could have got that, and I didn't pull the trigger because I didn't know enough about DG at the time. So I was hesitant, especially because it was so close to desert, and we know how that project went. I didn't want to get burned on that, so it was my loss. I didn't jump in that, but. Yeah, I understand getting into a project and then something coming out even easier, either just as good or better than it. And you're like, oh, well, I've already invested in this. Do I stay this course or do I course correct? And that's part of the big game of ball pythons is when you learn to course correct. Like I'm starting to change my course with albino. I love albino. That's one of the things I really wanted to work with. But I realized not everybody else is in love with albino like me, so I have to adjust it.
Like I said, like I don't have nothing against albino, but albino was the very first snake I was shocked that I had when I first had it. But then I was like, oh wait a minute, like so if I wait this long and I breed these, this is all they're going for, and I'm like, fuck. And then I saw them, that they were just basically, $100 snakes, and I was like, and like I said. What's behind me, I don't give a fuck what they go for. I'm going to keep it. I love it. I'm obsessed. You know what I mean? But when it comes to the other side, I have to think, what do I really want to have stay here and what do I not need? Because for the most part, anything at this point that needs to leave is something I've already bred. I've already bred it. But that's, right now I'm in a good place. I have everything that I want to work with for now until it comes to next year maybe. But I don't even know. I really feel like the shit that I have right now, I don't see me getting rid of for like the next 2-3 years. I really feel like I have a lot of relevant breeder females and shit that's going to make me a happy camper in the next 2-3 years. You know what I mean? Or I should say a happy trapper.
Nice. Shout out to the chat. I feel like I'm ignoring y'all. Shout out to the usual suspects. I see y'all in the building. Appreciate it. I got a couple people. So I don't know if you know this. I seen Antoine say I was one of the people that encouraged him to get on YouTube. There's a couple other people in the chat that I've been talking to get on YouTube that I got on YouTube, put on my next up series. So shout out to them for coming through. Appreciate y'all.
The community, man. Like honestly, there's so much more positive to focus negative, right? But I mean, let's keep it real. You know what I mean? Guys, by the way, the likes are very respectable right now. We're talking about 73 people in the building and 70 likes right now, Gershon. Okay, that's what I'm appreciate it. That's what I'm talking about, right? Love it. I love it. But things could be a curveball sometimes in this community, right? Like, and what I mean by that, I've seen nothing but great growth from you. I've only seen nothing but positive audience influence from you and people who come and fuck with your channel just because they love with what you're doing. And I feel like that is what's needed. That's what we need more of, right? Genuine content coming from somebody who just loves what they're doing, right? But then, like, you know, you got something that like that you feel like you have, and then something like, you know, like you got put in a position where you had to come together with the usual suspects, right? You went on Antoine's show.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I mean, what does that do to you? Like, I mean, does it confuse you? Does it make you feel like, you know, this is just something we shouldn't really be stressing? I mean, how does it really affect somebody like you, Gershon? I'm just curious.
So it wasn't a surprise to me. It was more of a, there it is. It's more of a, okay, there it is. I'm not gonna say I'm expecting it, but I'm not shocked when things happen like that. I'm a worst case scenario type person. That's what I've always done, is always think about the worst case scenario. So I'm prepared. So I'm not surprised and thrown back by it. So I can react to it and not be stuck in just shockness of it. So when it happened, I was like, okay, we're gonna have to talk about this. I'm not happy it happened, but I'm glad that people can see something that they thought wasn't a thing in the community. And it's a thing in the world. It's always going to be around. People forget that as human beings, we don't take this the wrong way. As human beings, we like to make fun of different stuff that are different than us just because it makes us feel better. And it's just the way that our brains work. Right. A lot of people haven't had to deal with certain things, so when it happens, they're shocked and surprised, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know this was here." Other people are like, "No, this is Tuesday. This is always here." So, like on that podcast with Antoine and everybody, I said you can show support, but don't go tag the one black breeder you know, or don't go tag a couple of black guys you know that breed. Just show your support. Like,
especially all of a sudden, you know what I mean? It's like, what, like, bro, hold on. Like, you know, and mind you too, like, you know, it's funny because, and not funny, but it's like, you know, people are wondering, like, you're not wondering, but like I've always had black breeders on my show. Right. But for instance, like you and me have had this schedule for, I don't know how long now, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I can understand how that frustrates a lot of people who are like, it feels like you're just using this as a point to get attention right now by tagging me in your shit. And it's not even really you. But also that's kind of like the pinnacle issue of anyone who starts shit when it doesn't even relate to them. It's like, bro, you're not even the purchaser or the seller, but here you are creating the biggest mess in the comments. You know what I mean? And this is just another way of showing that, you know, and, but like, you know, here's the thing. I've already given props for Antoine for stepping up, you know, but like one thing that I take personal and I'm trying to get a lot better at this is like, let's say me and you are boys, right? And something happens and it bothers me a lot more than it bothers you. And I feel like it should bother you too. Like, I don't know, or fuck it. Let's say we're brothers, right? And let's say somebody disrespected our mom. Right. And I'm like, fuck, let's go in on this motherfucker. And you're like, nah, bro, who gives a shit? And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? It's mom. Nah, but you know, you're just the guy to not want to do anything. Right. I'm trying to relate that to this situation here because there are some people who felt like they wanted to discuss it. And there are other people who were just like, nah, like, you know, it's just a guy who's been around for a long time. And, you know, it's nothing to make a deal out of, you know? And I felt like that flip-flop things a lot for some people. You know what I mean?
And honestly, both people are right. That's the weird thing. Both people are right. Sometimes you don't always have to discuss something, and sometimes you don't always have to go murder somebody because of something. You have to sit with stuff sometimes. You really have to sit and take a second, because the next thing you do, you're going to have consequences for that action. And you got to be ready for that consequence. That's what I tell my son all the time. Pay attention to what you're doing. What you do today will affect you tomorrow. You got to
100%.
realize that.
That's the universe. That's the universe. That's how the universe works, bro. The energy you may put in right now may not come back to you till like a year or 2 years down the road. And if it hits you, be ready. You know what I mean? And that's why also too, like, you know, as much as I wanted, because man, boy, you know what I went through, right? And so when the tables turned and I was like, oh, fuck yeah. I was like, this is the kind of trash I was talking about. I was like, but still, it's not my place to say anything. Like why should I make an episode out of it? Because it's not like I like people like Antoine who should say something with their boys should be the one. You know what I mean? And if they need me to say something, I will. But you know, I don't need to be that guy in the comments or that guy. All right, guys, let's rally together. Like, no, man. Like we're all grown ass men. And also, you think that's gonna be the first time? No. Watch this shit. Yeah. Hey, this shit. Like I said, man, the universe has a way of taking the trash out on its own. And I gotta tell you. There's not much energy you got to put in when there's someone doing it to themselves. True. And there's people out there that just do it to themselves. And you'll see day by day, this shit will reveal what happens in the dark does come to light. And that's if that ain't light, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? It's a dark type of light, but anyways, very true. But overall, you know, like you said, you know, the shock value for you is more like, well, I'm, you know, not much. You know, like, it's like it's there, right? But then there's other people who aren't exposed to it as much, and it is something that's kind of shell shocking for them. But what I hate is that it just takes away from the animals. But also what I hate is the politics in this, right? Because you got some people who favor others, and that's okay. But then when it comes to like, well, hold on, business stuff, like, okay, you don't think if you have personal feelings over who follows who or who does what, you don't think that's going to affect your business, or you don't think that's going to affect you wanting to sell or buy shit? That's the problem. Like, and that's the bad politics of the industry that's always been around, is the cliquey sides of, and we're talking like the big motherfuckers, like people who are still around, like top 5 motherfuckers not selling to other people who are right there with them. You know what I mean? So true. I mean, I don't know. That's why I feel like if I were just in a ball pythons, I would need people. Like, you need people in the ball python game. I don't give a fuck who you are. You ain't doing it by yourself. You need to have someone to either mentor you or just like, here's a snake you meet. Like you like Justin and Miguel's relationship since the beginning, bro. Like bread and butter, bro. Like they obviously need customers, but they help each other out by what they do so much. Exactly. And bro, like, you know, that's, you know, to do that takes big fucking money. You know how much money Miguel spent with Justin, bro? Does take money. We're talking over $1 million, bro. I mean, we're talking a lot of money, but it's all come back. It's all like, it's kind of like people who only gamble at the high roller table, and then they're the ones making like 20, 30K a night. Well, because look what they're doing. You know what I mean? So, but you also got to be smart too, because I also say, Gershon, that just because you come and dump money or spend money with a bunch of people doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean, or Garrett, you got to be smart about it. And go ahead.
Miguel did give Justin a lot of money for a lot of snakes, but he still built a relationship with Justin. Right. Like, that was the process. He didn't just expect Justin to be on his side. He built that relationship with him and gave more back to him in the long run. Like, he kept giving Justin more ideas or giving more spotlight here and there. And as Miguel growed, he didn't go, oh, I don't need Justin anymore. No, that was a friend at that point. So he made sure he shared that new success with his friend and kept helping each other grow. And that's one of the things I try to do with my channel. I literally look for people that are either about to start a channel or talking about starting a channel, and I try to help them get that channel started and put them on my channel to try to help them grow. Because you never know where that person might be, but you also need to put that positivity out there. Like, we need our community to grow, regardless of what everybody thinks. We can't be in a bubble. We need to grow. They're trying to take away so many of our rights with these animals, and the more people we have to fight to keep that, the better we are off. And to do that, we have to bring in new people. We have to continuously keep bringing in new people. And it's something that a lot of older breeders are not used to bringing new people in. They've been always like, get what you can and forget everybody else. Right. We had to change that mentality. And it's getting a lot better with people helping each other, pushing each other forward, helping each other grow. Like more people are going, oh, I don't have that animal, but I got like 3 other people that have that. Hit them up and let them know I sent you, see if they can help you. And that's how you grow as a community. And that's one of the things I try to focus on.
One of the biggest mistakes that any OG breeder makes, or any breeder who's not a content creator, is that they don't collab. They don't want to collab. They think they don't need shit. They're good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But when you're a content creator, you have to collab. How do you expect to even bounce off other people's audience if you don't collab? You know? Yep. And I want to say shout to the homie Keys, the Prophet, aka the Prophet, and then his wife Keisha. Like, listen, those two have started something that brings a whole bunch of people together. Yep. And that's the usual suspects. And I mean, like I said, I'm very cringy of like I can't deny I have a clique. I do have a clique of people. I got a fucking, but the thing is, I don't look at it as that it built itself. And, you guys were the first ones, I want to say that, the usual suspects, you know what I mean? And at first, trust me, I know people were like, hold on. I got to be, because I'm trying to be respectful. I just wasn't impressed with the very first lineup of the usual suspects. What it's grown into, what you guys have, you guys' group is no joke. But also, it's just, that was the time. Wiz was my only homie a part of the usual suspects, which made me even have to give props to the usual suspect, because you guys had Wiz, right? But then shortly after Wiz, I got tapped into Keys, and Keys and I just hit it off, right? But then that's when I started paying attention. When me and Keys started becoming friends, I started watching Keys' episodes. And when I started watching his episodes, I started noticing like how tight your guys' group was. But it's a big, tight group. You guys all come together. You guys all fuck with each other. That Friday night hair down shit that you guys been doing, that shit is so, like, it's refreshing. You know what I mean? And I want to give you guys, I'm putting some respect on that show, because Donnie, shout out to my boy Donnie. You know Donnie from Nerd? Yep. So me and Donnie have this collab that we do on Fridays, and he wanted to do it 6 o'clock on my time. And I'm like, bro, I ain't fucking with Keys' time, bro. I was like, listen, Keys sometimes be going 6-7 hours, and he starts his show. I was like, why don't we do this? I was like, since we kind of want to drop some informational type shit, since we want to kind of update people what's happening in the hobby, why don't we do this 3 o'clock my time, when people at my time are still at work trying to get off. There's motherfuckers who just look at their computer, they look at their phone. Yeah. They're waiting for that last 2 hours or hour to go by. They're dying to fucking watch something. and then you got the motherfuckers on the East Coast who are already home, posted up. They just cracked open their first beer or whatever. It's Friday. Let's go. So I thought this reptile community roundup would be the perfect intro into Hair Down Fridays, where if you just want to get your podcast on all Friday, you can. Like, you're good from 3 to however long Keys wants to take it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah. I love it though, that bringing shit together. I love it, bro. Like, I'm a fan of it. Yeah,
I talked to Keys, and I was like, my podcast starts at like 8 Eastern, so it was an hour after his podcast started, and I was like, hey, you cool with moving yours back and I move mine ahead so I can start off and then you go into you, and then I can actually come on more, because mine would run long sometimes. Right. So you guys doing your podcast on Friday too makes it a little difficult, but we find love. People find everybody. Eventually everybody watch everybody eventually. Either rewatch or live, we still watching. That's what's the most important. But I seen the importance of that podcast, the way that podcast have brought people that didn't really be on YouTube to come on YouTube, to come on that show and get to talk and share that knowledge they have, which is great. There's so much knowledge coming off that show alone. Sometimes it's sporadic, but then sometimes gems are just dropped and you like, oh, well, I got to write that down because that needs to be documented. So I love how he's built that format and how he's so welcome to people and bringing people on. I'm so glad they started their channel. Like, I kind of pushed them to start it. I had got them on my podcast, and we had a misreading of information. I told them they had to make one video. I said they had to make one video to be able to come on my podcast. Right. They thought I said 4. So they popped out 4 videos, and then they fell in love with doing videos, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna start doing this." But
I mean, it's kind of like riding a bike, man. Like think about like how scary it was riding a bike as a kid. I mean, I have crazy memory. There's some things I don't remember, but there's also like okay, because I hit my head a lot as a kid, and I got a really bad dirt bike accident around like I think I was 10 or 11 or 12, and that area of my life is very like cloudy. But I do remember starting like learning how to ride a bike, and I ate a lot of shit, but once I got going, man, I was off. Like I fucking and it was fun. Like I'm from the I grew up in the 90s and 80s. Who doesn't like riding a bike? That shit was
exactly
fun. I could just take off, you know. And my dad was one of those guys who like get back before dark, and I was gone all day. You know what I mean? But that's kind of like how the videos are. Like it's because a lot of man, it's so funny because I'm a fucking I still DJ, right? But I produce music, but I never dabbled into YouTube. I never even thought about the streaming side of things. But when I found out about editing videos, I was like, oh hell! Like I looked at it like the first time DJ, and I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna do that? Like, bro, like it took me to buy my own DJ set for me to learn how to DJ. And I think about having to buy something you don't know how to use, right? It's scary to do, but that's what I had to do with this shit. I had to say, fuck it. I'm gonna get Final Cut Pro. I'm going to get a brand new Mac. I'm going to get – but luckily, here's the thing, too, guys. You don't need no fancy fucking camera. If you have a nice smartphone, if you got an iPhone that's current, dude, you could kill it just with that. I'm telling you right now, if you look at all my trap talks, like all my vlogs from like from what? When did I get this camera? I just got this camera in October. So if you look at all my vlogs from last year prior to October, all on my iPhone. Everything's on my iPhone. And it's actually easier and more enjoyable to do because it's less like this camera shit's fucking stressful. Yeah. It's like a whole nother thing to learn, bro. It is stressful.
It is. I had a camera. I went back to my cell phone. I do everything on my phone. Right. I shoot, I edit, I make thumbnails, post, all of it from my phone. You got such good resolution on these phones now. It's like, why not? So I could totally understand it. And editing was something that terrified me. Trying to learn how to edit, oh, that was terrifying. I was on YouTube every 2 seconds trying to figure out how people did green screen and how they put sound in. But then once you get used to it, it becomes addictive and you want to edit. Like you want to edit your videos. It's hard for me because I don't like the sound of my voice, so it makes it very difficult to edit.
Yeah. I honestly can't stand the sound of my voice. That's why it's hard for me to hear back podcasts because I'm like, I hate hearing myself talk. And before any hater speaks up out there, shut up.
People always keep asking me, like, why haven't you put more clips of your podcast on TikTok or Instagram? It's like, because I have to listen to it, and I don't want to do that. It's weird. Honestly,
that's important, bro. Listen, so that's one thing here's another load of work for us, bro. So everything that we're doing, Gershon, we have to put in mini clips for people to see it in order to build an audience. And that whole clip shit is the fucking, like, you want to talk about edit work, bro. It's, Donnie told me that he puts probably 45 minutes to an hour into every reel. Jeez. I'm like, what? I was like, I go to my current fucking snake video and I think of something cool to say with the song, and that's it. But he's like, don't expect to get crazy numbers then, because if you notice, a lot of people who do kill it on the reels have the voiceovers. Hi, now you're looking at this, and it's like, I can't do that. I don't give a fuck. I know I could do that without speaking, and and I'm with you on that, right? But the clips, man, I think that would help you out a lot. I think if you would just go back to, especially if you have a really good topic that you guys are covering, you could clip it, put it on YouTube as a short, and then you want to put it on Instagram and then go back and forth. And I would even maybe consider, and like I said, it's a lot of work, but even start making a page, like an Instagram page just for your podcast, or just for because I know it's difficult for some people get confused, but trust me, like at the end of the day, you're going to want your snakes for one thing. You're going to want your content for the other. And honestly, it doesn't hurt to have a backup account nowadays, bro. True.
I got like 3 backup accounts just waiting in the wings just in case I had to activate them. Just because Instagram changes their algorithm and changes their terms of service every 2 seconds. So you never know what might get you banned for a while.
That's what I like. I feel like the ones who are like gaining for like fans or followers in India and shit like that. I feel like, oh man, like it's cool that you get that many followers off one reel, but if it's that easy to get, it's got to be easier to go. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's why I'm like, hey man, if I do post something and I get 30,000 followers, oh, that's cool. But I'm going to wake up thinking, is it gone? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's also people out there. Shout out to Serpent Eclipse. Thank you for the super chat. Also, the homie Angel, man, I got to say all love for super chats that are going down tonight. But I just like, it's dangerous, bro, because there's people who they study and watch their following every fucking day.
Yeah.
And especially with YouTube, and YouTube is like, oh man, YouTube is for podcasts. YouTube's are really, really hard. Okay. Because you're not doing anything really thrilling or anything like, but our job is to reach out to the niche people in the reptile world who want to hear what we have to say. Right. But after a while, it only gets so big. So, but I don't know, like, it just adds to, like, that's why anyone out there who's making money off social media, making money off snakes, making money off fucking like Patreon and all this, bro, you know how much they're grinding and hustling for that? It is not like Barchek. I gotta tell you, man, he's the one guy I've seen work in person, and I'm just like I need a nap. I look at Barchek and I'm like, bro, I want to take a little nap, bro. I was like, I'm just standing here watching you. And he's like, hey, how's it going? And he's like, it's not fake. Like, he is very happy that you're there, not only to spend time with his animals, but these people are like freaked out to see Barchek. And I don't know, maybe that's what it is. It's like, he knows like they're there for him. And he's like, that would make me happy. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't know.
So quick question. When was the first time at like a reptile show or out in the world that you got recognized after you started doing YouTube?
You want to know?
Yeah.
Where's my boy at? Oh, did you hear the story about how me and Matt Summers met?
No.
You haven't? Okay.
No.
This is my boy right here. And goddamn, do I make it difficult for him sometimes, but I love him. He travels with me everywhere. By the way, go to Arlington. Arlington's going down NARBC. But so I started my YouTube with, let's see, I had just started it what year was it? 2019 or some shit? Yeah, I think, 2019. So I started my YouTube, the Snake Trap Sessions, and started doing vlogs 2019. And I also started the podcast with Forrest, Unfiltered Reptiles Podcast. But less than a year, it's been like only 3-4 months. So I go solo dolo to this Slipknot concert, right? Well, I was with a buddy, but he didn't have pit passes. I had pit passes. So I'm in the pit with like 30,000 people. I know nobody. We're in San Bernardino, which is basically the armpit of California. No disrespect, but it's like, it's grimy over there, right? So I'm just like, oh shit, like what is going on? And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of freaked out. It's my first metal show, and I know what happens in these mosh pits. And so I'm kind of like, I wish I knew somebody. And then I hear in the distance, hey, MJ, Snake Trap Sessions. And I'm like, who the fuck's calling my name? And I look, and it's Matthew Summers. He's like, what's up, man? I'm Matt. And I'm like, he's like, I subscribed to your YouTube channel. I watch all your stuff. I was like, what? I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, dude, I felt like I instantly, because like I said, I wish I knew somebody, right? And I'm standing there, and I'm like literally down on this floor for like a good 45 minutes before the show started, just so I could be ready for it. And like I said, this guy calls my name from a distance, and we talk for like 5-6 minutes, something brief. The show starts. I get into the mosh pit. I fucking tear my ACL. I fucking bust my knee completely, bro. And so my knee is fucked. I needed reconstruction, ACL surgery. And in the hospital, I post a story, and Matt comments like, "Hey man, what happened? I just saw it." I'm like, "Dude, I met you." And so after that, bro, we met at reptile shows, and that was like, man, now we hit it off, and me and Matt been growing ever since. But I gotta say, like, as far as really getting noticed was, I mean, it was definitely my backyard show, Pomona. Like I would go to Pomona's and stuff like that, and people were like saying what up. But really, where I really felt a lot of love and a lot of fucking like people coming to me, where it was, of course, like Arlington, NARBCs, like the NARBCs, bro, because I love the reptile super shows, but they bring in so much traffic of people who aren't really reptile people like us. Like they're about it, but most of them are parents, they have kids, and it's just like a lot of families, like a shit ton of families.
Yeah.
But it's also a lot of us too. NARBCs, it's families, but it's fucking a shit ton of breeders, bro. Like it's NARBC like brings people who've been going to these shows for years, but a lot of them, and that's where you have people who pay attention to a lot of stuff like what we do, and that's what dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like Miguel Garcia was the first person I saw going to all these shows, and I'm like, bro, he's going to all these shows. Like, I want to go, but now I know what really, like, obviously, it's so smart because think about how you grow by meeting people. You got to connect with people on this level. And it's only going to go so far on the internet. You could do what you want, but on the internet, you can only build something for so long before it becomes what it is. In person, you got stories. You ate together. We hung out. We fucking bought this snake. Like, I saw him buy this snake, and I told him do it, and all this shit. Like, it just becomes a fucking part of the life. You know what I mean? And I'm so sorry. And I love all my internet followers who I've never met, but like the internet shit ain't real life to me. Like it's not like we're friends. Don't get me wrong, but like there's people I just want to meet. Like, I'd rather meet you. And what I'm saying is, I hope I influence you to want to go to a show and meet me, meet your influencers, meet whoever the fuck you want to meet, because it changes everything when you meet people. Like
Very
it's
true.
like you, and you know, there's one thing that this reptile industry has a lot of are people who just don't have good people skills. They are obviously, whoa. You know what I mean? So
I'm very much antisocial. I'm good with people, but I would rather not be around people.
Well, that's
I'm
why
good in the
we
room.
love animals. That's why animals are, you know, because like at the end of the day, like I love coming home to my wife, but man, when I go out and I go to a reptile show, I can't wait to get fucking here. Like I want to get to my animals because no disrespect, I don't go to a reptile show for the animals, bro. I don't.
Yeah,
I
understandable.
don't. I
go
don't.
for the people.
I go for the people.
Network.
I go for the people, and I try. And like, don't get me wrong. Like I go to a Steve Morphs table or fucking Bob Vu or Troy Schroeder's or the homie Sybil Serpents or the homie. Like I could just name a list of people who I love going by their tables and seeing what they have. But I'd rather buy something not at a show. That's just me. I don't go to shows to buy shit personally because I've already done that. I've done all that. Me spending money, I have to think everything through. And if I go to a show, it's an impulse buy. And I can't impulse buy right now. So, but I
can understand that.
Yeah, but I also just love the whole, like, dude, connecting. Like, bro, like I could. I'm not trying to. People are gonna be like, oh, MJ's cocky. Well, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. I can fly wherever the fuck I want for the most part in this country and be taken care of. Like, I could be like, hey, who's in this part? Who's here? Oh, MJ. Like, not only can I have a place to stay, even though I get my own hotel all the time, but they fucking welcome me with weed, like everything I want. Like, I love it, and that's because I fucking travel and I've gone to these places, and that's just, you got to do that. And you asked me a question before we got, so I thought this would be a good leeway to the question you asked me when we were doing sound check. And go and ask me this question, Gershon, because I didn't want to answer off the live. I said, hey, can I answer this on your show? Yeah. So go and ask me what that question was.
So I asked you how, because I think I'm at that level where I'm about to bump up to another level, and it's building your audience. How do you build, retain, and get your audience more involved in you and helping you get to that dream you're trying to get to? And that's the question I asked you, because the moment you posted I was going to be on your show, the number of stories come in saying, hey, Gershon's going to be on the show. Check this out. It's overwhelming and amazing. Your audience just started, like, the support they put behind that. Not even knowing me, but knowing you was like, he's going to be on the show, so he must be cool. Let's put him out there. Let's make sure people know about it. Let's make sure people come see the show. It's amazing, and I want to be able to build my audience up to where they're that supportive. Like, I want that kind of support because I put that kind of support out there with other people. So I would like to see that support too. And I'm wondering, how did you build that? How did you go about that?
I mean, it definitely was time. I mean, because at the end of the day, it took a lot for me to want to believe in what I was putting out there, because in the beginning, I did this thinking people were going to hate me. I was like, dude, because, you know, nobody is allowing smoking. Nobody is allowing, you know, fucking cussing and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's not me. Like, I just want to reach out to other adults because, you know, I don't have a kid. It's not about, you know, G-rated shit. I'm an adult who works with animals, who has mental health issues. And I just want to be fucking like, I want to share stuff with people. And I know there's an audience out there for that. So I just said, fuck it. Let me do what I did. And honestly, man, it just, like, I don't know, Gershon, I feel, I've said this for a very long time, but the reason why I love the reptile game is because if you're meant to be in this game, things will happen for you in a way where you'll see like the writing on the wall. And you either do it or you don't. I saw so much writing on the wall on what I needed to do with this that, yeah, it got scary sometimes because I even had to tell my wife, like, listen, you know, like, I told you my life before this was a very fucking like unstable, you know, like I sold drugs, man. Like that's what I did. Like and then I met my wife and I was like, I don't want to sell drugs, but I was still selling drugs. I was very contradicting, you know what I mean? But then I was able to finally like grasp it, hold it down because of the animals. And I noticed that the party life and the animal life just didn't go hand in hand together. And so when I realized I wanted the animals more and my wife more, I started changing up, but my wife didn't forget the shit that I put her through. She's like, okay. She's like, what do you mean you want to go to Chicago? What do you mean you want to go to fucking like, and I was like, hey, I'm going to, cause I told her, you know, like after I introduced her to Miguel, we went to dinner and all that. I'm like, hey, I'm going to Tinley. And she's like, what? She's like, you ain't going to Tinley. I'm like, yeah, I am. She's like, motherfucker, you're a problem. I'm like, no, I'm going to Tinley. And bro, trust me, if I would have went to Tinley, I would have went with drugs. I would have been bad. But I told her, all right, listen, I may not be, because also too at that time I wasn't balling at all. Like I had no, like I had money just to pay my shit barely, if that. But I would tell her these things like I'm gonna go with Miguel because Miguel would always invite me. Miguel would be like, hey, you want to go to Tinley? You want to go here? And he would always invite me, but I'm like, well, yeah, but I ain't got money, so I'm like, I can't go. But I told my wife, I'm gonna be going on these. I'm like, mark my words, I'm gonna be going on these shows, okay? And she, at the time when I'm telling her this, she's like, you're fucking nuts. Like you're not, like, good luck telling me you're going without us fighting over it. And sure enough, 2 years later, about a year later, I was able to prove myself enough. And she realized how, like, what these shows were doing for me. And, you know, trust me, like there's times where my wife calls me like, dude, I wish you were home, or like, you need to get your ass home. And I'm like, dude, and there's times where I have to be there for my wife to settle her down. But I have, like, that's how you grow. You have to go and put yourself out there because, like, Gershon, you don't know how many people fuck with you at the West Coast if you're not actually going to a Pomona. Like,
very true.
And then not only that, how do you think I was getting my sponsors? These motherfuckers were telling me they wanted to sponsor me in person. And like, you know, when people see the effort you're putting in on putting yourself out there, this shit just starts coming to you. And that's just how it works. But the thing is, you can't expect it to come to you if you're not putting in. And putting in is putting out YouTube stuff, putting out content, linking up with motherfuckers, collabing, but going to shows, Gershon. You have to go to shows. When you tap into different parts of bigger shows throughout the country, it takes things to a whole nother level. But then also you get the attention of the motherfuckers with the biggest pockets, the ones with the biggest future who want to fuck with you. And once you connect to those people, you just keep meeting those people. And like I said, I'm never going to financially put my sponsors at risk ever again because you ain't fucking with them. I got to tell you guys out there right now, you ain't fucking with my sponsors. I ain't ever going to let any of you motherfuckers fuck with them ever again. Trust me. I'm going to be very good about that. But, bro, it's all about building it. And it took a lot of time, but also, meeting people is fun to me. When you meet people in this, it's like, and also, too, Gershon, you said you had a green tree python, right?
Yeah.
Bro, what about when you're kicking with somebody who's a fucking green tree python breeder and who has like fucking 60 of them and you're at their house? It's a whole nother level, bro. And I'm telling you. Cool. and, you know, if I could also mention one thing is start tapping into other species. Like and what I mean by that, start bringing in somebody from like the frog game or something. Like somebody like don't just stick to one topic of species in this hobby. Like people think they could come in and just bring ball python breeders in. that's why your shit stays at 180 views. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're only gonna, it's overheard. Like you gotta, but it needs to be heard. Here's the thing: if you're putting out nothing but ball python content, you're just regurgitating and throwing up shit, right? But if you're mixing it up, sometimes it comes in perfectly where somebody hasn't heard that in a while, and they're like, all right, that's good. So that's why, you know what I mean? You got to have it all, man.
I've expanded the show from my podcast used to be just people on YouTube because I felt people on YouTube already are comfortable being in front of the camera, so they wouldn't have problems being in front of the camera. Right. I've expanded to everybody, and I've expanded to different animals, furry ones, wet ones, multiple legs. I'm expanding this year, so I'm on Instagram looking for different animals, putting different hashtags in to find different groups, different communities, and reaching out to people. And half those times when I'm talking to those people, I'm learning about the animal myself. So it's a whole different kind of conversation then, because you see me trying to pick their brain and learn about something that I knew nothing about, but I'm interested in. And me and the listeners are learning at the same time sometimes, because most of my listeners are ball python people. So now they're learning about a different species. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of growing pains with that, because they'll be like, oh, you're not talking ball pythons, let me leave. I understand some of the videos are going to dip a little bit, but eventually I'll grow a different community within the one community I already started in. So then I'll start having ball python people. I'll have crested gecko people, frog people. I'm trying to find somebody that has what is those what's Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm trying to find hedgehog people, talk to hedgehog people, because I'm interested in hedgehogs, but I know nothing about them. So I want to talk to somebody that breeds them or take care of them.
Oh, here's my other advice then right now, Gershon, because if that's something you genuinely want, you should do it regardless of the views or what you get out of it. Because there's times, like when I started doing the gecko series and stuff like that, at first it didn't start hitting as hard, because I came out of nowhere with it, right? But I was genuinely interested. I want to fucking know more about these gecko breeders, you know what I mean? And I just started committing to certain days, right? And mind you, like Thursdays are my days. Like Thursdays where the days where I put a lot of work on bringing the heaviest hitter I could bring on that week or on my Thursdays. Then Mondays are my heaviest new breeder that I bring on, right? But at the end of the day, there's so much meat on the bone to fucking be chewing off of, where you shouldn't just be dedicating your content just to one topic or to one species or even just a couple species. Like, because our job is to get other people to come in, right? Yep. So if you bring somebody in the hedgehog fucking community into reptiles, well, that's kind of what we want. But
exactly,
it grows with time, and honestly, like, it kind of also shows and gives you a reason to put out more content. You know what I mean? Because it's the animal world, period. Like everyone, you know,
it expands that community. We can have hedgehog people, dog people helping us fight for our rights for the reptiles. They see them taking our rights away and be like, that's not fair. And they come over and actually help fight for us. So that's the whole thing of bringing the community together. We're not just talking about the reptile community. I'm talking about the animal community itself. We need to grow together to be able to keep the things we love.
Now, so overall, how's it been on YouTube? Because a lot of people, you know, I know we kind of talked about how you've influenced people to start off YouTube, but like YouTube, you understand there are so many fucking little hacks with YouTube to even kind of start gaining a little bit of growth, right? Sure. And what's it been like so far with your experience on YouTube? Do you feel like you've grasped some things, or do you feel like you're also just fucking swinging in the dark right now?
I'm swinging in the dark. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I'll do a video and it'll get like 400 views. Right. And I'm like, I did the same kind of video or didn't do anything different in that video, didn't do different hashtags, same kind of thumbnail, and another video will get like 120 views. So still trying to figure out YouTube. It's continuously changing. There's certain niches you should do, certain ways you should put hashtag stuff, and I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm super close to monetizing my channel. I'm like 600 watch hours away from monetizing. I got the subscribers, just 600 more watch hours and it'd be monetized. So that's my goal for this year, is to have that happen on top of hitting 2K on my YouTube channel. So trying to figure out a way to get that done, trying to figure out what people want to see, but still something that I'm excited to make. Like, if I'm not excited to make the content, then you'll see that in the content. There's no passion there. So if you don't have passion in your content, people just see you shooting the camera and pointing at your face and talking. So I'm trying to make sure I'm still excited to do it. It's something I want to do, but something actually people want to watch as well. So you trying to balance those two things. I'm also trying to work a little more on Instagram, trying to build that platform up. TikTok, I don't get TikTok. I waste more time watching TikToks than actually putting content on TikTok. So that one's just, it's in the background. I'll figure that out later.
I mean, here's the thing. I figured out TikTok and I'm good.
Okay.
but let me say, everything out there works just like TikTok in that.
Okay.
And what I mean by that, and also let me also throw some other game out there for you, Gershon. Here's another thing. Like, I can't help that this landed in my lap, but there's a big breeder out there. How the fuck I'll say his name? My boy Khalil from Canada, 514 Reptiles. You ever heard of him before?
I heard him. Yeah.
What a fucking, like I said, one of my top 5 favorite Canadians of all time. Right. His marketing, everything behind his channel is very his Instagram is very well done. You know what I mean? He has a respectable following, and he's also one of the ones from when I started following back in the day that always had quite a bit of numbers on his following. He's always kept it very, very organic from what 514 is doing. But I didn't know that there's another half to 514, and that's his brother Sammer. And his brother Sammer is a fucking marketing guru. And so I found out that, and you want to know how I found this? And this is also, it takes us to put the fucking pieces of the puzzle together, okay? Because I used to notice back when Justin used to only follow like 12 people, okay? I used to like see who to like, and that's also too, if you notice some of the biggest people in the game only following like a little bit of people, go see who those people are. Like, yeah. And so I went to go see who those people are, and I noticed that he followed Khalil's brother, Sammer. And I'm like, why would he follow Sammer? And it turns out that they had a little workshop at some point. Like, Sammer fucking put game into fucking Kabelka's life back, like, and this is years ago. You know, not years ago, but like, I don't know, 2018, 2019, which really they had something, you know. And obviously, you know, now Justin does his own thing with that, but still, like, there was, and so I had Khalil on the show. Khalil was a big fan of my work. And then I'm like, bro, can you tap me in with your brother? And I started asking Sammer. And I knew, obviously, you're good at this shit. Help me. And we spent time together. So you're going to, I mean, I you know, like I said, I'm good at putting the dots together. But also, you can meet people at shows that could fucking start helping you out with shit like this. You know what I mean? Because as important as it is to have breeders in your pocket, you got to have the social media people in your pocket, because it's two different entities, bro. Like, it's like two different skill sets, okay? Because you're obsessed over animals, but now you have to obsess over content.
Exactly.
Obsessing over content sucks. Like, but you have to. You don't like. Yeah. It's if you don't, then don't expect fucking results. That's how it is.
Very true.
But and Sammer was, dude, and I can still, that's my boy. I can still call him. But man, he told me little things, man. You want to look at your YouTube channel together? Let's look at it. You want to look at it?
Yeah, sure. I'm always up to learn. Like, I hit Dre up. He hit me on Instagram, and he made me go start doing reels. Like, I started hitting reels hard for a good 3-4 months because of Dre. He was like, start hitting reels, try to drop one every day if you can. That's how you can grow. So let's look at this together. Everyone, first and foremost, type GP Snkaes in the search and go subscribe to my boy right now. Let's get him up. Appreciate that.
All right, so here we go. So you're posting how often? It looks like so 4 days. So these are just your videos here. So you are putting out videos, right?
Yep, I put a video out every Thursday and a live every Friday.
Okay. Oh wow, look. So your shorts are doing good, bro. Look at that, 5K. Okay. When was the last time you did a short? When was this?
It has been like almost a week.
Okay, that's mistake number one. You gotta do shorts every day. Every day you gotta do shorts, but you gotta find out what time of the day. And YouTube's the one thing where if you do 2 shorts a day, it doesn't actually fuck you up. You could actually get away, and it's
Okay.
also sometimes good to just murder 2 shorts in one day. Okay,
Gotcha.
but they got to be good. Like they have to be like good, like this pied. That's a very good shot of the pied, right?
Mhm.
And so yeah, so you already have that going. Then you have your lives, which mean nothing. Okay, I want to tell you right now, we don't know this for sure, but lives on YouTube doesn't help your YouTube at all.
Really?
Okay? Yeah. Nope. It's unfortunate, but that's the case. And there's a lot of people out there who only do lives, and that's where that's why you'll always stay at about 1,000 subscribers. You'll never grow. But or you can listen to this and take it for what you want. But you got to put out videos. You got to put out videos at least once a week. I would say minimum once a week videos. If you could do more, then obviously it's good, but you don't want to overdo it. Once a week videos. Shorts should be every single day. The lives. Now, let me give you some game on the lives, right? The lives should be used as your shorts or your videos. So, meaning, let's say look, you have the homie Justin on your show, Armless Angels.
Yep.
That guy's a G, bro. I can't wait. I'm supposed to get him on this show. But Justin, right? You would want to take your favorite clips out of that podcast and just have those in an arsenal ready to go. You could either chop up the whole episode into like a 30-minute clip. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or a 20-minute clip, and that's a video right there. But also that gets people ain't got the attention span to hear us just chit chat and bullshit. Some people just want to get the fucking, like, they want to hear the meat and potatoes. So what you could do is grab the meat and potatoes out of every episode and you cut it down. It's just work, bro. But that's the kind of shit right there where that's how you have to do that throughout time. And that's not even guaranteed, but that's, if you aren't doing those steps and you're not doing anything sensational, like getting bit by a fucking alligator or something, you're gonna be stalemated for a while. And I hope this made sense. And I'm only spitting this game because this game was given to me, and I want to give it to you. I want to give it to anyone out there, just so they know that this YouTube shit is a grind. It's not fucking easy.
Definitely.
And there's a reason why people don't do it, because they get to a certain point, they're not satisfied, and they stop, and they because it's a lot of work. You got people who put 3, 4, 5 hours into a fucking video, and then they get less views from a video they did worse on editing wise. So it's kind of just like
it is discouraging to put time, effort into a video and only get like 6 people to watch it. It's very discouraging. That's why I try, when I do bring people on and get them on the YouTube, I tell them like, hey, it's going to be slow at first. It's going to be very slow. So just get used to it, but do it because you like to do it. Don't do it because you feel it's going to help you become a star. Do it because you like to do it. Like, I started doing it to document me breeding. That was the purpose. And then it switched to me being able to show people what I'm breeding. So when they wanted to buy something, they can see how I was taking care of it. They can see that I was breeding it. They can see that I produced it. And now it's starting to adjust to being able to have profit come from it, so it can help me take care of the animals that I'm using the YouTube for. So it's ever evolving, but that's how it should be. You should always be trying to evolve year after year, grow after year. And that's what I'm trying to do. I plan to try to change up the way I do my reels.
Well, so I got a big change coming to this channel. It's fortunate, but unfortunate for some people who just like to view and not subscribe, because moving forward, I'm giving myself a date, February 1st, which is in 2 days. Okay. Moving forward from February 1st on, any live that you don't catch can only be caught again on Patreon. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now from now on. Now what I'm gonna do, because I just realized how lives really don't do shit. Okay, YouTube, I got something for you then. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my live, because I still get my super chats and I still get, you know what I mean? I still get something, like for instance, if I do a live and there's 7,000 views off a live, I still get paid off of that, right? But the after effect, I could just make the live unlisted. I could download the live, and then I put out a video. So you could catch the highlights of the full episode, but if you want to catch the full episode, you got to go to Patreon, and you have to be a YouTube member. So my lives will only be able to be, you can only catch. So that means if I say something reckless, or if I do something wild, you got to be a Patreon member to watch it.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. I'm not gonna say nothing reckless. Jay, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Don't even fucking. No,
Hey,
but-
you're still growing. You're still growing. You're still learning. It's okay.
No, but seriously, like that's the way you like, it's you have to get smarter than the actual platform, and you have to benefit or give more to a platform that's feeding you more. Patreon feeds me a lot more than YouTube does. So why give everything and something to YouTube where Patreon deserves more exclusive shit? And I learned that from other podcasts. That's what they do as well. So just for stuff for you to think about, because also too, Gershon, people are going to want to catch lives that you had. So maybe start a Patreon at some point. Think about how much you've helped people start a YouTube channel. That could be a reason to join your Patreon. But the thing is, Patreon isn't something you just, people like me, I'm gonna start a Patreon. No, you need to figure out. You need to find out how you could provide. If you ain't providing to the Patreon, those motherfuckers ain't sticking around. They're gonna dip out. Like, you have to bring value, and that's a whole nother load of work. Like, holy shit. But I love my members, bro. But if you want to talk about how you build shit, that's, I'm kind of giving you stepping stones right there.
Yeah. I did start a Patreon, but I realized I couldn't focus and do a lot for people that would be patrons on there. So I realized this wasn't the time for that. So I shut it down, and I plan to revisit it later once I either have more time or being able to produce more stuff for people to it be beneficial for them to be on my Patreon. So yeah, I could totally understand what you're saying there. 100%.
Investments. Let's talk about how you even kind of angle certain things that you need to bring into your collection. I mean, are you, first and foremost, respect the storage rack that you have right there? That was my groundbreaking foundation movement, where I had 6 of those motherfuckers, bro. Like,
I seen them. I remember them.
Wow, man, my OG days. So that right there makes me feel like I almost want to cry right now. But like, let's say, like, for instance, this year, how many clutches do you want this year? If everything goes Gershon's way this year, how many clutches?
I want 10 clutches. 10 clutches.
10 clutches. Out of those 10 clutches, how much do you want to hold back?
Honestly, I want to hold back maybe 5 females, honestly.
So 5 out of the 10 clutches, you want to at least hold back 5 girls, okay? So whatever money you make out of those 10 clutches, off those snakes that you sell, right? What would be the game plan for that money? Would that money just go back into the snakes? Would it go into something else that you need? Or like what is the thought process as far as taking profit from your snake productions and doing what with it?
So I wanted to put like 20% of that money away just so it can start collecting interest on something. So put it in savings account, something like that, so it can grow on its own. That's 20%. So we got 40% would be either upgrades for everything, new racks, bigger racks. I got ones that are growing up that need new racks, so be able to house them. And then the rest of the money would be investing in future projects. In the process of selling some old breeders to move stuff out, because I want to try to stay a certain size right now, especially since this is not full time. I want to stay a certain size, so I want to stay under 40 breeder females. So moving out some older breeder females and possibly picking up 1 or 2 new breeder females with more genes or better examples of certain genes, because you got to have that quality. If you're not getting quality, you're not producing quality.
Right.
But yeah, that's I was told to not have too many recessive projects going on at one time, but now that we're moving into triple and quadruple recessives, I'm trying to have either a visual recessive gene with at least 1 or if not possible 2 different hats in it, 100%, to further along those projects. Unfortunately, that's a lot of money to get those. You got to put that money in there. But that also helps on your return when you produce stuff. So my goal in the next 3 years is to produce animals that are at least 2,000 and up. Like, I don't really want to be under that per se, unless there's just like a special project to me, or if I'm trying to breed something for friends that are trying to get into snakes and don't want like super expensive snakes. They just want pieds or albinos. I'll keep one just to breed that and sell to them and probably a couple other people. But
so here's the thing, Gershon. Your friends, right? Your friends are the ones who are brand new. Okay, like meaning like the brand new friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're ones who are being so thrilled off something that you could either, I mean, whatever the price is, but if you could agree on something that isn't relative to like what you have going on for that year, then you need to let go of that snake. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, if you've been in this game for more than 3 years, and mind you, guys, if you have no foundation yet, okay, if you have no foundation yet, this doesn't relate to you. But if you have a foundation and you have a snake without one recessive in it, like if you have any snake without one recessive in it, you got to get rid of it. Okay. Unless it's a super form, unless it's like a super gravel or like a super chocolate or like a fucking really amazing super form, then okay, hold on to it, because that you could do damage with that in a sense and make heads. But other than that, dude, the biggest pill I had to pop and swallow last year was telling myself, you need to fucking get rid of all this Codom shit, because it's like you already had, like, a lot of it was yellow belly and like yellow, and I already had that in visual shit. So why am I gonna sit on all this stuff? And like, man, there's people out there who don't even have one recessive. Everything is at least recessive het. And I'm like, oh my God. But bro, that's where things are headed. That's where things are at. But here's another thing too, bro. Like, there ain't nothing wrong with selling a $300 snake. Like, that's $300.
True.
Like, and that's another thing I try to tell myself is like, I get on this high horse of trying to be on that rat race of relevant fucking ball python breeders. But at the end of the day, if I could get $300 for a snake, I ain't mad at that. You know what I mean? And that's why also it goes back to just stick to what you love. If you're a blue-eye Lucy guy, then God bless you. Make those blue-eye Lucies. If you're a highway guy, make those highways. Those are sick. Make what you want to make. If it's quality, it's going to sell, Gershon. Quality always sells, bro. Shout out to Flawless Exotic Creation. Hey, listen, man, bro, you know how many black fucking motherfucking respectable black breeders are in the building for you tonight? Like, we had Antoine Hood in the building, okay? And then we had the homie William and Audrey's wife, the homie William in the building. Then we had Reggie, okay? You kidding me? Urban Jungle in the building, man. And then
Reggie's the one that made me realize I have to network at shows. Right. Like the first Tinley I went to, I met up with Reggie. And he was like, go talk to people. And I was like, I don't like talking to people. He was like, no, you need to go talk to people. Say hi, get a picture. He's always pushes talking.
Reggie gets the picture before he talks. What's good? And I'm like, bro, hey, by the way, Reggie, where's our picture from Tinley in October? I never saw you post it. And I don't know if that's was strategic. I'm just kidding. No, but listen, Reggie, man, and you know, okay. Oh man, Reggie he's an OG. Like, people don't know that Reggie's been around. Yeah. Like Tiger King been around. You know what I mean? Yep. Like, he has seen stuff in this hobby, which reminds me, Reggie, that round 2, I'm bringing Reggie on another Thursday night because I need it. I mean, Reggie just has stories, you know. And have you ever seen this guy dunk? Bro, this guy, bro, he could ball. Like,
he could play. He could play.
Baller. Like, he's a baller. Like, he's fucking like I'm telling you right now, man. Reggie, one of the. I mean, it's hard because Antoine, right? So like when it comes to my favorite, you know, like players in the building, you know what I mean? Like I'm talking about people who bring shit like Antoine and Reggie. Like I don't know, man. Reggie might take the cake on Antoine. I don't know. And I'm not trying to get choked out by Antoine right now. You know what I mean? Like, that's my dog. But Reggie, like, when I found out that this fool had connections to the Tiger King's fucking old, wildlife facility, like, I was like, dude, this fool's been around. So I don't know, man. The history is everything, you know. And do you feel overall the future is good for the hobby? I mean, or I mean, do you think things, whatever is bad, do you think it bounces back always, or what are your feelings by that? And what I mean by is like U.S. ARC stuff and, you know, legislations and all the scary shit that happens.
It is terrifying to see people make decisions about animals they don't know. And it's all based on fear. It's fear of hearsay too. A lot of it's rumors of animals doing this or animals being here or animals tearing this up. Half of it's not true. I know there was a story way back where there was a guy that had a pet store and he lived above the pet store, and somehow he claimed his boa killed both his kids. And the media just killed snakes at that time. It was like, yeah, nobody should have snakes. Come to find out, he just murdered his kids. But the media ran with that story so quick and so fast, and it spread so wide. By the time they found out the truth and try to tell people the truth, they had already gotten their mind ingrained, oh, these snakes are killing people. No. So unfortunately, we're dealing with fear more than anything in this whole legislations against us. So it's a lot of very important for the educational channels that put out educational stuff about these animals and the way they work and how they deal with people and how they interact with people. Those channels are way more important than a lot of other channels, but they don't get as much views and they don't get seen by more of the public because they're educational channels. You know, they're a lot about talking, so people don't find them super interesting. But those are channels we should be trying to push out there more so the public can see that and understand how these animals work and how you can have these animals and work with these animals and the reason we work with these animals. So it's going to be an uphill battle, unfortunately, but it's a battle that I don't think is ever going to not be there. Because there's always going to be some new politician trying to get their name out there and use us as a way to do it, unfortunately.
What's your take on Barchek? Do you ever feel like his shit is over the top, or do you feel like is he somebody that you could relate when it comes to bringing people in who aren't in the hobby? You know,
I can say it's half and half. You can
keep it real. Like if you could, if you have something that you could kind of touch on with that, I want to know. I want to hear it.
Like, I can say it's half and half. He's brought a lot of people to the community. He's got a lot of people interested in reptiles. No one can say he hasn't. But a lot of his content, people can pull stuff out and use it against us. Whether it was whether he meant to do it that way or not, it's still something you put out. That's one of the things when you put out content, you have to be ready for the consequences of people using it, good or bad. Like, that's just the way it is. You can't control that content once you put it out. So you have to be ready for whatever people choose to do with it. And unfortunately, sometimes people use it negatively. Editing is, if you're really good at it, you could do some crazy editing to some stuff and make it look a lot worse than it should have been. That's just how that works. But overall, I believe he's done more good for the reptile industry than the little bit of bad he's done. I think it overshadows the bad he's done because he's brought so many people into the community itself to help grow it and help it get better. That's just how I feel.
You know, the good thing about Barchek, right? Like if you were like, oh my God, this, you know, let's just say his content made you feel like he was a monster. Okay, go to his zoo. All right, go to Barchek's Reptarium. Tell me what you think, okay? And that right there is like how, you know, that speaks volume for anybody. Like that's why I say, like, whoever you are very influenced by, whoever that you listen to the most, see what they do with animals. Like what's their resume like? Like look at their resume, okay? And if their resume is dog shit, like meaning there's facts that they're dog shit at keeping animals, and you still want to support them, then you're supporting them in a different way. Me, I bring people on this show who I support because of the animals they work with. That's it. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. You need to have that respect first, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Once you have that respect, then we can get into other things. But everything I do is about the animals. That's it. So with Barchek, right? Like Barchek was somebody who understand, like I've said this story before, okay? And I'm going to be respectful now. I'm going to call it by the real name. prehistoric pets. Okay. I broke bread with this motherfucker, Jay. And when and guys, motherfucker's a term I say. It's not like I don't mean he's a motherfucker. Like,
yeah,
I call my friends motherfuckers all the time. You know what I mean? So I for anyone who's offended by that, I'm sorry, but that's just how I speak. But anyways, like I ate lunch with this guy. Him as a person, he's a good guy. Like I heard his stories, but his animals made me feel some type of way. And I'm sorry, but if it's like seeing a kid. Like if you show me your kid that has lice or your kid's neglected and it's sick, coughing, and you're not taking care of it, I'm like, dude, you're an asshole, bro. Like, take your kid to the hospital. Your kid's sick, right? So I saw a side of Jay from his animals, even though, maybe Jay he's not the one. Like, here's the thing. I asked Jay, what the fuck's up with your animals? Hey, man, I hire people now. Well, still, I don't give a fuck. It's your animals, right?
Yeah.
So that's not an excuse to me, right? But regardless, that did something to me where it had me fog my judgment with Jay. That's why I've had my rants. I've gone off because all I could think about are those snakes with no faces and just eyeballs trying to get out. And it's like, it's scary to see that, bro. It's kind of disgusting. Can you imagine a snake with no face?
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Have you seen or tick? Can you imagine? Have you ever seen it?
Yeah, I've never seen that.
God bless you.
Don't think I want to see that.
Yeah, God bless you. So anyways, I see that, and then going into bar check with people hating on Barcheck, I'm thinking, oh my God, this is gonna be another fucking Jay thing where I'm gonna hate Barcheck. But no, man. And once I realized, let the person's collection be the proof of them. That's it. Like, even if you're like, wow, what did you say? You're kind of dicey, but I see you take care of your animals. All right.
Yeah.
At least you do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why, man, that's why I'm so happy that I flew to I flew to Detroit and fucking hung out with Barcheck, Miguel, all these people, and saw it for myself.
Exactly.
And I've been to Barcheck's like 5 times, and it's like it keeps getting better and better. He has this new launch that he's doing, the 3.0. That's gonna be fucking crazy. So I don't know, Gershon. This is why I keep saying, investing into traveling, and like especially if it's somebody you really want to fuck with. Go see what they got going on, bro.
Yeah.
And it'll kind of open your eyes to things,
Yeah, I definitely need to go to more shows, go meet more people, get outside of the house.
You going to Tinley?
I always go to Tinley. I go to Tinley. I'm only 2 hours away from Tinley, so I'll be at every Tinley.
Gershon, listen, it ain't gotta be March. It ain't gotta be October, but it should be next March where you come with me to Reptarium. You fucking roll. Let's roll. Bro, Barcheck's always like, bring the biggest group you want. I don't give a fuck. Come mob it. And he closes it down for all of us. And we have the time of our lives, bro. Like, I'm talking about swimming with salt and pepper. Now, you can't swim with them. But, like, but bro, I'm telling, like, if you really want to feel connected, you go to Barcheck's. And you it's like Disneyland for the first time, bro. Okay. Because you never know who you're gonna run into, right? Like every time, like usually when I'm Tinley, people just mob up and they pop. You want to talk about one hitter I met at Tinley, or excuse me, my very first Reptarium was Will Moros. All right, this motherfucker, King of Canada, bro. I mean, okay, I don't know. I wanted respect. Honestly, if I were to put a crown in the ball python game in Canada, it would go over fucking Will's head. This guy right here is the man. And I got to meet him, his pops, who's another legend. Okay. I got to meet all these sick ass Canadians at the Reptarium, bro. And that's like 5 hours from you.
Yeah.
But bro, doing shit like that, like the outlandish shit, like I got to do a road trip and go here.
Yeah.
Bro, that if you're asking me how you grow, that's how you do it.
Okay.
I'm telling you, day by day, bro. And if I'm inviting you, if you want to, okay, and I'm not trying to listen. Here's another people are like, oh, MJ's cocky. Well, I don't give a fuck. Take it for how you want it, because you want to know why people fuck with me. You really want to know why my goddamn Patreon's so popping? Because we are so connected. Like, if you want any snake, if you want any advice, if you want anything out of that family, we know it. We're all connected. The connection behind everything, bro. Like it's everything. It's not what you know, it's who you know. That's what it comes down to. And bro, people want to know, MJ, how the fuck you get so far in 5 years in this game? It's because the people I kick it with. Hello. Come on, bro.
That's very true. It does help who you know, and it helps you go a little farther. That's something I'm trying to get outside of myself. Don't be scared to ask for help. I'm trying to get over that. You can't do it all by yourself.
Closed mouths don't get fed, Gershon. You know that.
Yeah.
And you know, probably the best thing you could have asked me is that question before we got started, because it's something you want more than anything, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
And listen, I gotta tell you right now, man, what made my life easy at the time transitioning was because of COVID. I had it lucky. Like I got laid off. I had no choice.
Yeah.
So and I was getting paid unemployment, even though it wasn't shit. It was still something to where like I could just I pretended the 1 year of unemployment during COVID. I pretended like this was like unemployment was paying me to do a podcast. That's
smart.
That's how I looked at it. And then I was like, okay, I need to make more. And then the sponsors started coming. And then I was like, oh shit. And then boom. So the thing with you, bro, like it ain't gonna be easy probably, but that's fine. Like I don't think you're out here looking for easy routes. I think you're waking up fucking shoveling snow. I think you're gonna be fine.
I don't mind putting in that work. I don't mind putting in the work.
You know, also too, man, you just gotta find time to do other, like when it comes to you going to a Tinley, like the Reptarium's one thing, right? But there's so many people in that area you could be tapping in with and going to their place, filming their collection, bro. Like start filming people in your area, man. You got fucking how far are you from oh my god, I can't think. Hold on.
Like I'm like an hour and a half from Garrick DeMeyer.
Yeah. Oh, how'd you know? How'd you know I was thinking of Garrick? I love you.
I'm like an hour from him. I'm about 40 minutes from Breeder Circle. They're out here now too. So I do need to start moving around more, talking to people more.
You're by Garrick DeMeyer, dog. Like honestly, Gershon, I shouldn't even be talking about this with you right now. Like, bro, Derek is the man, dog.
I've talked to him a couple times. I bought a couple snakes from him. I asked him about a snake I bought from him because I produced something really weird. So he was looking in his records for me and let me know, like, it's not this, but I would hold on to that just to be safe and work with it a little longer. So yeah, I need to. It feels like I'm bothering people. Like
fuck it, bro.
I know.
Bro, people love talking about their shit. They like. Here's the thing, like reptile people don't like talking to people unless it's about their reptiles. Then they want to talk to you. So here's the thing. They love it. I'm telling you, they love it. They don't and if you come from a good place, if your approach is good, some people just have terrible approaches. And the thing is, if the person's busy or if they don't reply to you right away, don't take it personal. Like you don't know what they're doing. I've had people, bro, literally fuck it all up for them, but they go, "Oh, thanks for replying to me." I'm like, dude, I'm sorry that I'm driving and I can't fucking. I shouldn't even be reading, but I sometimes have a problem. Here's the thing: I have a problem replying to certain messages while I'm driving because I know they're important.
Yeah.
But then I see like, hey MJ, I'm just like, oh, who the fuck? I'm sorry, but I don't have time for this right now. But I'll read it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then they take it personal, like, hey, dude, relax. I'll get back to it. You know what I mean? But Gershon, never feel like you're like wasting somebody's time or I'm bothering you. No, man, this is what we love. And you know, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, especially if it's somebody that you've met. Like, bro, it's like, here's the thing too, bro. Like, if you met somebody, you ain't gonna have a problem talking to them. It's a different relationship. You guys are boys now, and but the thing is, it grows. It's kind of like, man, you know, who's the first usual sus? Oh, so Wiz Constrictor. Who's another one? Oh, Dorian, the Royal Clutch. You know Dorian?
Yeah,
he's one of the first motherfuckers I ever met that I was never tapped in with, as far as being an up and comer at a Tinley. Yeah. And then I started seeing him at more Tinleys, and like Dorian is tapped into the gecko world, the ball python world. Like, bro, all because he shows up to shows. He knows how to connect. And I'm telling you right now, man, have you had Dorian on your show yet?
No, I haven't had him on my show yet. Hey,
book that, bro. I'm telling you right. He'll tap you in. I'm telling you right now, Dorian is he's respected upon some big motherfuckers in this game. And it's all because he networks the way he networks, and I feel like you need to talk to him for sure.
Okay, I'll definitely hit him up.
All right, listen, I got a wrap-up question before we get some hot seat questions here, Gershon.
Okay.
For anybody out there who's new into this and they experience anything really negative, regardless what it is, if it's negative, what's your advice for that? Like, what's your advice for that person not to let it affect their well-being of being in this hobby? Like, how can anyone rise above no matter how bad it is? We're talking about being scammed. We're talking about being betrayed. We're talking about racism. We're talking about anything that could bullying. Like, we're talking about getting bullied too. Like, any of that shit. How can you really advise anyone out there to look past that and keep going? Because if it's one thing I do notice, some people deal with this shit and they never come back, man, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And you know, and I have a guest I'm bringing on Thursday night who was this close of leaving the game. And and we're going to talk about Thursday, but still, he overcame it and he's here. What would be your advice?
Yeah, that's hard. Well, do like I did. Realize that's not the whole community. That's not the whole community you're trying to be a part of. That's one person in that community who hasn't grown past themselves. Usually people either hate or are evil because they haven't dealt with stuff they have to deal with. They still holding on to emotional hurt or pain from their past. And the best way they feel they can let that go is pushing it on other people.
Yeah.
And it's usually not. It's healing from it. Like I had to heal from my father not being the father he should have been. And I had to heal that to make me be a better father. So unfortunately, that's that one person's problem. That's not your problem. So let them do what they got to do and keep it moving and go find the positive people that are in this community and want to see you thrive. Find those people and grow with those people. That's the best thing I could say.
Man, you want to know something that's more true than anything, and I'm glad he's here after he was a rock star on another podcast right now, the homie Ray, man. But listen, at the end of the day, a lot of my anger, like a lot of the reasons why I did what I did, like I'm not talking about in this reptile industry. I'm talking about when I was a ruthless motherfucker. Like I there was a certain anger that took over me, right? And my mom and dad divorced. I found out stuff about my mom I wasn't happy about because I always thought my parents were perfect. And then as I got older, I started realizing things. And then I realized not only my mom isn't perfect, but my dad's fucked up too. So now I have two fucked up parents. And I just, you know what I mean? And you know, as I was growing up in life, I remember my dad telling me like, hey, you need to let go you need to let go of some stuff that you're feeling about either your mom or me. And I would just kind of let it go. But no, dude, like I'm talking about just a few years ago, I realized that I held on to anger from my mom and dad, like, and I never let go of it. And I always had that animosity and fucking that was my fucking fuck everything. You know what I mean? And even though the day's a fresh day, it carries with you that energy, that you know what I mean? And that level of forgiveness needs to happen more than anything for anyone in life, because without forgiving, you can't let it go. And once you're able to let things go, then you can actually treat people the way you want to treat them. But when you're dealing with shit yourself, when you're so mad, when you hate yourself, you hate your life, you're going to hate anything that comes in your path. And that's why, you know, when someone, you know, by the way, I haven't got any cocksucker or any spineless weird DMs in a long time. I want to say in a few days, so thank you. But don't, you know, hit me with it again. But when they hit me with that, I don't take it like I used to take it. Well, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you. Now, I'm like, dude, this person's screaming for help. Seriously. And you know, it's funny because when I used to talk to people like that, I was screaming for help. I was unhappy, and so all I could do is pray for people like that. You know, all I could do is just say, listen, whatever you're dealing with, I wish you the best, because you're probably not having a really good day. You're probably really fucking going through some shit that I could relate to, but you know, this is a comment, and to go back and forth on a comment, oh man, you're just you're indulging into that person's fucking darkness. And oh man, listen, at the end of the day, man, I have nothing negative to say in a comment anymore, bro. Honestly, even if you say something mean, I'm gonna say thank you or have a good day. That's it.
I kill people with kindness. It throws them off. You tell me I'm a terrible person, I was like, thanks for that input. I'll take that into consideration, but you have a blessed day.
Right. Because really, like, if it bothers you, are you are you mad because you think you're a terrible person? And what's crazy is, like, some of the shit people would clap back on that would offend me was kind of a little bit of true, and it was kind of like, well, that's probably why you're mad. But now you call me a fucking, a piece of shit or whatever. I don't think so. Like, I don't like. So like, unless you're acting like a piece of shit, you shouldn't feel like a piece of shit, no matter what they're saying to you. So words are words, man, and that's all. Like, listen, all I'm trying to come from a place is back where I grew up, words and stone, or wait, what is it? Wait.
Sticks and stones break your bones, but words will never hurt me.
Say that one more time.
Sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt me.
I lived by that, okay? So I used to clown motherfuckers all the time. And because that was like the way of life, we go back and forth, right? Getting bullied was getting fucking knocked out and getting your money fucking taken out of your pockets, or getting fucking, shoved in the lockers, even though I didn't have lockers growing up, but still, motherfuckers got knocked out. That was bullying to me. You know what I mean? So saying how you want to say things, it's an expression, but I don't feel like anyone should ever stop expressing themselves, no matter where you're at in life. And this is advice to you, Gershon, no matter where you're at, never stop expressing how you feel. And that's why I give you props on going on Antoine's show. And because, a lot of people don't want to be put in that realm where, like, oh my God, well, what if this fucks up my chance of getting a snake from this person or that person? So they don't even want to be a part of that. But no, fuck that. You need to express how you feel. And if you want to know how I get my following, it's because I express myself. People know MJ expresses. MJ, I ain't faking shit. I'm as real as this New Era hat right here. You feel me? Like it's official. Okay, so stop. I don't give a fuck. I care, but I also say what I mean, and that's how it is, man. And I think, Gershon, that you are so organic and genuine that you just need to start connecting to other people who could tap you into the next level. That's all you need. You've no disrespect, but you've outgrown the shit in your area. You need to tap into other stuff at this point.
Understandable.
And that's nothing. And that's nothing. That's nothing against your crew or whoever's. But at the end of the day, bro, like, you shouldn't be the best in your circle. You shouldn't. You need to. You need to fight. And I'm telling you, Garrick Meyer, bro, go tap in with that guy, bro. Like, you never know who he knows that might tap you into the next shit. Keep going to shows. Come to Pomona. Come to Anaheim Reptiles. Like, just keep tapping in with us. And if I can help you, let me know, man. That's all I gotta say.
Definitely. Appreciate that.
Damn, 2 hours went by very, very fast for Sean. Not gonna lie, man. Listen, I man, it's something about having other reptile podcasters I fuck with on the show that makes it easy. Like, it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, I think you and I have a lot of the same ambitions, right? Like, we love what we do, but we want more out of what we do. But that's the way of life. Like, even Gershon, if you had this as a full-time gig, you would still want more. And that's just the way it's going to be. So listen, I think what you're doing is perfect. Just day by day, and start using your fucking your assets, your networking. Start using the people around you in a good way. You know what I mean?
True.
You're gonna be all right, my man. But listen, an amazing episode, guys. It's hot seat questions for Gershon. I ain't going light on these either, by the way. We're coming in hot, super hot, like an asana. Let's get the lights up. Here we go. GP Snkaes, you ready for these hot seat questions?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, we go. Hot seat question time. Coming in hot. Frozen thought or live?
Frozen thought.
A cut or no cut?
Cut.
On what day?
53.
Least favorite recessive gene? Ball python.
Hypo.
What? Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
I know. It's just.
I didn't even hear that. At first, I didn't even hear that. I didn't even hear that at first. I was like, okay. I almost went into the next question. Bro, what do you mean?
I know. It just doesn't move me. Like, I trust me. I want it to move me. It just don't. I like it. I like hypopides. I like hypo clowns. But after that, it's just like hypo by itself.
Hypo DG.
Hypo DG is nice, but then it's the DG that makes it nice for me.
But
it's not just the hypo.
Okay, Gershon, I love
Hypo
you.
with something I'm okay with.
We are not going to go perfect this whole episode, and you and I fight right now. It's not going to happen. Nice try. Hey, nice try, devil. Not tonight. Okay, red Chondro Neo or yellow Chondro Neo?
Red Chondro Neo.
Pre-first shed meal or post-first shed meal?
Post shed meal.
Yay imports or boo imports?
Yay imports.
One reptile you would import to your collection, no matter what the laws were, no matter how big it was, no matter what it is, what would you bring to your house if you could?
A Komodo dragon.
Okay. What's one reptile nobody should ever touch? Leave it alone. Let it be where it's at. Don't fuck with it.
Huh. I don't know. That's a good question.
Listen, guys, this should be a no-brainer because who the fuck should ever take a sea turtle out of the ocean? Like this should.
Oh yeah, I seen a video when they were pushing a sea turtle, getting it to the ocean. It was huge. Yeah, that's probably they're so majestic too.
Just a turtle in general. Leave the turtles alone. You know.
True.
What I mean? Like, anyways, I just gave
only thing I would say is to be able to protect them.
Right.
If that was the reason, just to protect them, because we keep dumping stuff in the water, so protect them. That's all I want to do is protect them.
Yay sports or boo sports?
Yay sports.
Favorite sport?
It's hard. It's It's baseball.
What?
Baseball.
You're shot a baseball player?
I'm so good at baseball.
Hug you, bro. That's my ball, dog. That's my game, bro.
If I could go professional any sport, it would be baseball. 100%.
So you must have smelled your glove. Like you must have been like I
used to sleep with my glove under my pillow. Yeah.
Gershon's my boy. I'm so sorry I mistaked you for Dre. I'm so sorry. I don't know why. I don't know what I was thinking, bro.
Dre took all my hellos at Tinley that first year. He took them all. Everybody thought he was me. He took all my hellos. My meetups.
Bro. Dre's a dirty one, man.
That's still my boy.
Big flexor or no flexor?
I'm a no flexor.
Come on, Gershon.
I'm not a.
We need to change that, bro.
I'm a very low key dude.
Start flexing, bro. Start flexing on these motherfuckers, bro.
I do need to start like promoting myself more. Like when you were doing the beginning of the show, I need to do that.
Matthew Summers never used to flex before me. Now he be trying to fight people at fucking Las Vegas bars. Like you can't give Matthew Summers dirty looks no more. He fucking bro, you ain't fucking with my mans. I'm telling you. Okay, here we go. Moving forward. All right. Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg?
It would be Dr. Dre.
Nirvana or Green Day?
Green Day.
West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
West Coast rap.
Little word association. First thing to come to mind. FedEx shipping.
Snake.
Milk.
Cookies.
Yes. Thank you. Jesus. Stuck Shed.
Damn.
Reptile Show.
Scary. I don't like people.
First time ball python breeder.
So much to learn.
Ball python Facebook groups.
Terrifying.
That's a terrifying moment. You want to talk about a whorehouse? Oh my god. Okay, listen. If it came down to you eliminating one Codom out of the ball python game forever, you could never bring this Codom back. What would that Codom be?
It'd be cinnamon.
What?
It'd be cinnamon.
Bro,
sorry.
you're cat.
I know.
You're gonna pick cinnamon over lesser?
Yes, because lesser still looks good and stuff. But cinnamon, the 8 balls have problems. I just wasn't a big cinnamon fan, and we got mahogany, which is a great replacement for cinnamon. You can work with that and get the supers. Thank you. Just saying, just throwing it out there.
Time out. I didn't know that. So hold on. Mahogany kind of works like a cinnamon, but better because you could super it.
with the super form of mahogany, it's to get you that black snake. That's what I don't know if it's called. It's not called panda piding for mahogany when you get the super version in the pied, but it's black and it makes that kind of panda pied look. It's a little duller, I think, but you don't have the issues you have with 8-balls.
Listen, anybody who makes some outlandish cinnamon combo shit this year, tag Gershon in it right now. GP Snkaes, okay? Tag GP Snkaes and anything cinnamon, and let's make this guy blow up. But listen, hey, Gershon, I'm not going to lie, man. This was an awesome episode, as I knew it would be. But what do you have to say to all? We were just shy of 70 people in the building tonight. What do you have to say to everyone in here? No, actually, we were over. No, wait, hold on. Let me look at this. 87 people. I take that back. We were just shy of 90 people in the building tonight. What do you have to say to all your supporters, everyone who taps into your content, everyone who supports Gershon? What do you got to say to everyone?
Hey, I appreciate you guys coming out, showing that love. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep growing together, pushing people to grow. Show the love to everybody, even if it's just a hey, hello. And get on my case for not marketing and getting out there to more people. Make me try to go more shows. Push me to do that like I push all the other people to get on YouTube. Sometimes I need to push myself. So appreciate you guys coming through and hanging out with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Listen, keep doing your thing, man. If you need any help from me, man, just let me know. But I got to tell you right now, it's an honor to see where you're taking things and to just kind of see your passion. I see the fire all over you, Gershon, but that's a wrap for my boy, Big GP Snkaes in the building. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
All right, Gershon, have a good night, man. Thank you.
You too. Take care.
Sheesh. Another new breeder on the block in the books. Episode 298. Guys, 2 episodes away from 300. Who's going to be episode 300? Do you guys even know yet? Does anybody know? Well, guys, I got to tell you that this week is going to be proper. And we just started off really, really proper. I got to say that the homie Gershon killed this episode. Really awesome to get to know my boy more. Yeah, man. I'm never, no disrespect, Dre, but I'm never wasting my Gershon hello on you ever again. I'm going to make sure it's Gershon I give a hug to, I say what up to, and I'm going to make sure I got a chair for Gershon to sit with me at my US ARC table at Tinley, and you, Dre. Both you guys are sitting next to me at the Tinley US ARC auction. But guys, thank you so much. And like I said, this week is going to be very heavy. It's going to be very respectable because Canada, oh, Canada, where you at? Who's ready to hear from my boy, Jordan Pizzarosa from JP Reptiles? Man, I've seen this guy grow from the get-go, and he's my good friend, my boy, Jordan. We're going to catch up with Jordan. We're going to see how things been, what's been going on, all this sort, all the great stuff. He's been a father, of a beautiful daughter, and he's really living life. I'm very proud of my man, Jordan. And Jordan's not coming solo, though. We do have a special guest. I want to say we're coming with another Canadian breeder this Thursday night. So Canada, stand up. Canada, be ready. It's going to go down 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. JP Reptiles and special guests. All right. You know what? I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to keep it to myself, aka my Patreon members. But Patreon, if I could get one Patreon member in the chat to say it's cool, MJ, I'll do it. Do you guys want to know who episode 300 is going to be? This Sunday. I have 5 seconds for one Patreon member to say it, MJ. If not, I'm going to keep it for Patreon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you guys don't get to know who it is. Oh my God. I'm so sorry that nobody could speak up, but I got to go. Oh shit. No, this was late. This was late. This was late, guys. I'm so sorry. You guys got to wait. Man, it wasn't my fault. It really isn't my fault. You guys came way too late. I had 5 seconds. So there ain't no freaking delay, okay? And I don't need you cursing on the live right now, Adler. Have a good night. Drop a super chat before you leave. I love you guys. I'll see you guys here this Thursday. Canada, where you at? Be ready. We're coming in hot. We're coming in heavy. Hey, Gershon, keep it GP. We out. Cheers.